Return to action tonight at 500, sitting at 19-19, welcoming in the third in the West, Memphis Grizzlies. Tip will be at 7 o'clock at the Frost Center. The Dallas Cowboys continue their search for a head coach as Mike McCarthy is already getting looks around the league. He's scheduled to meet with the Chicago Bears today for an interview. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning to you, everybody. How we doing? It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm AJ. Over here, Mr. Rob Thompson. Hello, Rob.
Good morning. I'm right here.
And on the other side of the glass, I think he's got a camera set up.
Almost.
Almost?
Yeah, almost, yeah.
Oh,
What
man.
do you mean almost? Are we, is it in transit? Does it need to be hooked up?
No, I need to move it. I need to move it further back and adjust
So
it.
we have it.
I didn't
you
want
just
to
don't
do it
like,
on the
it's
fly.
not getting your good side. Is that it? We have to make sure
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
backlit.
see, this side right here.
Vic. Now,
gotta
Vic
make sure.
is, and this is very difficult, friends. Vic is the ugliest guy on our show.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And that
There's no
is,
I mean, it doesn't mean he's ugly.
no,
He's just the ugliest.
well, it does kind of mean he's ugly because this is not really a
Well,
handsome
no, we're a
show.
pretty good-looking crew. If you want to find out,
Says
Go
the
to
one
YouTube.
says the one handsome guy on the show.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, this is a good looking show.
oh, aren't I? Look, see
Oh,
right now.
yes.
Look at that. Take one gosh darn look at that dude.
That flannel, all the way buttoned up like a cholo.
Outlet Cholo.
It does look like a cholo today.
Orale,
So,
wey.
Roberto.
Hey.
You know,
Gonna be on his lowrider.
people, well, you know, I am from the West Side.
Yeah, there
I
you
did
go.
grow up
You're just
a
missing
long
bandana.
military drive.
You just need a bandana.
I have at one point in my life owned a pair of Tangerine Stacy's.
Aha!
Now-
Actually, I had some from
So-
bought 'em from Penners.
That's OG, and it was from Penners. You want to go OG?
Yeah.
I had some Tangerine Stacy's, and there's a group of dudes right about my age that went, yeah, so did I.
Yeah, so did I.
So did I.
I did not.
You didn't? Well, you're
No.
not of an age.
You had boots, right?
Yeah, you had. I graduated. The Tangerine Stacy's I got, and it was a mistake. I should have never had them on.
Okay.
But they look good. I always thought they looked cool. But I graduated from those to the next thing that everybody on the South Side had on was Red Wings.
Oh, yeah, the Red Wings.
And
that
I
was
bet
a
you had
thing.
your share of Red Wings.
No.
See, that was a decade prior.
I have.
You had Justin Roper's, didn't you?
I've had a long-standing belief that white people are very limited in the color of shoes that we can wear.
Oh, see, I've been pushing that for years.
We are, you can wear, white people can wear black shoes, white shoes, brown shoes,
But not
maybe,
red.
maybe blue, like a navy blue.
Okay.
But you start getting into the purples and the greens and the
oranges. Yeah.
That's,
What about running shoes?
White or black?
I mean, you can wear whatever running shoe, like whatever color running shoes you want. But I'm just talking about like if you're walking around in public, you look ridiculous if you're wearing like purple shoes or green shoes if you're a white guy.
I beg to differ.
Well, okay, but I'm just telling you that is
What if you're a Jordan collector?
then
And or more appropriately, what most are, they wear either Air Force Ones.
like the custom.
No, they're just so many different colorways.
Right. Either
Yeah.
Air Force Ones or Jordan Ones.
Or Jordans.
Or the Jordan 4s.
There's a lot of different shoes that have, it's the same flavor, but lots of different colors.
I'm just telling you what the white skin tone is built for. And
You're
it's
so wrong on
you
this.
can't.
There's a wide
you can't
world out
change
there.
nature,
AJ,
Rob.
AJ,
You can't change nature.
You could go home today and put on a pair of purple shoes.
No
and
way.
wear them around. And let me tell you, nobody would give a crap.
No, they
Nobody would
wouldn't.
look at you and go, "Oh, no, white
But
dude."
they
no
wouldn't
one
say-
would, no,
they wouldn't
would
say it
look
out
down and
loud.
go, no, they wouldn't. They would
No,
not
they
even
wouldn't.
care.
Because I do it. I do. If I see a white guy wearing like purple shoes, I'm like,
Like
"Oh,
even, but do you recognize the shoe, not just the color? Do you go, "Oh, those are purple"?
No,
Jordans.
I don't care.
Well, see, you don't get it.
no, I don't.
Well, then, who cares? You don't get it. It's like You're looking at a foreign language and you can't read it.
We're appropriating their culture by trying to wear orange shoes.
Who do you think designed them and made them and sold them?
Anybody who's not white.
No, anybody who appreciates shoes.
No, it doesn't.
The
it doesn't
sad
work
thing
for
is,
us.
AJ, there's a big wide world out there for you.
No.
You're limiting yourself.
I do limit myself. I like it that way.
You put yourself in a little tiny.
I like to stay in a bubble.
Round peg and a round hole. There's all kinds of stuff out there. You can wear yellow shoes and green shoes.
No, you can't. It's absurd.
You sound like Ricky Bobby if you're not first, you're last. There's a whole bunch of other stuff out there.
It's absurd to try to wear yellow shoes if you're a white man.
That's the reason why Phil Knight is a multi-billionaire.
And also,
because you can wear whatever color shoe you want.
While we're at it, the same thing goes for suits. Like, white men are limited in their suit color options, and like a black man can wear a white suit and it looks okay. A white man wears a white suit, he looks crazy.
No, you look like the host of Love Boat.
Or
Fantasy Island. But I have a white seersucker suit. You can wear a white suit.
Oh, Rob.
You can.
No.
But I'll go on the other side. I don't care your skin tone. I don't care where you're from. You should never wear a purple suit unless you're committing crimes. I mean, there are some things.
Or you're inside the NBA.
Unless you're, even then, there are certain colors of suit that no one should wear because you go from clothed to costumed. And you don't want to be costumed. You want to be clothed.
There's a fine line.
Attired to costume. And you can costume yourself real quick.
What about
one?
Like Cam Newton?
That's a costume. I don't care.
Cam Newton puts on a costume every day.
Then there's the tight end for the Buffalo Bills that walks around with no shoes on. That's just as crazy.
Collins.
That's just as crazy as putting on a canary yellow suit. No one should ever do that. You have now costumed yourself.
He likes to be connected to the earth.
Okay. Or he's got a bunion he can't find shoes for. One or the other. I don't care. And you can say that. But is that just a white guy can do that? Can a white guy be the only one that goes barefoot?
Matt Collins is not white.
He's not?
No.
What is he?
He's a very, very light-skinned brother.
All right. So again, can a white dude?
No. No, white.
Have you been to Australia?
Yeah, white guys are more likely to walk around barefoot.
Likely or allowed to? I mean, because to you, it's kind of like you're not allowed to do that.
I think. Listen, let's face it. If Matt Collins wasn't a millionaire, it would be absurd for what he like. It really is kind of absurd what he's doing, and now I think it's just kind of an act.
Well, as are most people that put on a yellow suit. That's kind of an act.
That's true.
If you put that on, you have now costumed yourself. But most dudes would never just put that on.
But you think a white suit?
I have no problem with a white suit.
Oh.
I mean, it's an appropriate time and place.
When is that?
I bought it for a summer wedding.
A summer wedding.
You have a lot of confidence to wear a white suit.
Oh, yes.
Well, it's one of those things you don't get to wear it very often.
How was your bod back then?
Back then, it's not that old. I went to a wedding up in upstate New York. It was one of those farm-type weddings up in, like, the middle of summer, and I wanted to look like the Southern gentleman that I was.
Okay.
So I went and got myself a white seersucker suit.
What kind of hat did you wear?
Well, I had a nice open road straw cap.
Okay.
I represented, and I adopted kind of a Southern drawl.
He's like Brian Kelly.
Well, no. See, I'm actually from here. But see, when people don't realize that South Texas ain't the South. It's the South in that we are in the South, but we're not Southern. No. We're Western.
Well, we're Texans. Like,
we're Texans.
It's Texan is very different than everything
very unique thing. But anybody who doesn't realize that, if you're from south of I don't know, Oklahoma City. Oh no, I'd say south of Omaha. You're country and you're Southern. So I always kind of play that up.
Okay.
By the time I come back from when I'm up with the upstate New York types, the New York City types,
you're south of that Mason-Dixon.
I get back, I sound like Foghorn Leghorn. Boy,
I do declare those were fine nuptials.
By the time I get back, that's how I sound. But I do declare.
The hors d'oeuvres at those nuptials were delightful, I tell you.
Roll me and honey and lay me on a fire ant bed. You look so pretty. I'd pay money just to hear you fart across a walkie-talkie. So I had the suit to kind of go with it. So I don't think I've worn it very much then, but I certainly felt
you should wear it to the Spurs game tonight.
I will. I'll slick up. I'll do the red carpet walk, like the rest, all the players and Stephen A.
Uh-huh.
He gets his own.
Did you have a corncob pipe?
I wish I had.
How
Well, no,
great
I'd
would that have-
prefer to have the long cigarette holder.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
Oh,
I wish I
yeah.
could find one of those.
You
Yeah.
have spats on your shoes.
And like
spats.
a cigarette
A
case.
cigarette case and a pocket watch chain.
That's right.
And a cane that actually doubled as a flask.
You're
And they're like, why is our open bar tab so high? Well, Rob filled up his whole
Filled his
cane.
flask up.
His cane
Can
is
you
full.
fill this up with a mint julep, will you, sir?
He filled up his old walking stick with it.
It's getting kind of dry up here, young man.
Oh, I don't go for gin.
I don't do that gin, young fella.
I don't go for gin. I'm a bourbon.
Get
man.
us something real to drink.
That is right. All right. Well, we've got, as usual, a whole lot of show planned for you here. The Spurs are going tonight, so we will discuss that game, that matchup, as the Spurs are about to get into this run where they got to win some of these games, or it's got the schedule says there's a real chance it could get away from them if they don't figure something out real quick. So we will talk about that. We will. Did you see any of this golf thing yesterday?
Man, everybody I know is starting to tune that direction.
I was playing poker, so it was on television.
I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to be a late adopter. I just can't find myself being entertained, and I guess I should watching a dude play simulator golf.
Dude, it's so wild. There's like they have, depending on where you're supposed to be hitting from, they have a different surface that they hit off of into the screen.
Okay.
So there's like there's a sand pit. So if you're in the sand, they drop your ball in the sand, and you got to hit out of that. There's a fairway. There's rough. There's deep rough. I mean, it's
Okay.
It's interesting. I'll say that.
No, I think there's a place for it, I guess. But you know what? I can watch real golf. I can actually wait like 3 days.
Not on a Tuesday night. You can't.
Well, I think there's a PGA channel. You know, I'm just saying. I've never quite gotten, though I'm a fan of playing video games, but going to Twitch and watching other people play, I never got that, and I feel like that's where I'm going with this. Like this. Here's my issue.
Well, I mean, it's.
And I know that life in the world has changed over the last decade, but when I worked at EA Sports, I used to go around the country and MC like the Madden Challenge or the NBA Live, and we'd show up, and all these guys would show up and play for a title, or at least to progress toward a title. And when you do NBA Live, the game would drop, and the first contest would be 6 weeks later, and we'd go from town to town. But between the time the game would drop and the first game, all these guys would grab the game and go lab it, quite frankly, and play it in every different way they could to find the glitch, because there's no perfect game. And they'd find the glitch where there would be an unstoppable play, and then they'd adopt that team and play that play over and over and over. So I'd go do these Madden challenges, or more likely the NBA Live challenges, and by the time we get to the championship game, I remember that year it was the Houston Rockets and Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming. And everybody was playing Tracy and Yao. And whoever won the tip won the game, because you could not stop that play. So each team would score until the clock ran out.
The kids call it spamming.
Yeah, well, basically that. So when I see a guy playing like Tiger and Rory and all that, and they're playing a video game, I know that somewhere in this game, somewhere in there, there's a glitch. And if you can figure out where the glitch is, you're going to be hyper successful, because that's how video and that works. Now, I know the game has advanced to the point where you've eliminated a lot of the possibilities, but I still know it exists, where I know it does not exist in nature.
But when you're watching this, yes, it's a video game, but it's also, I'll say this, when I first started seeing people like watch people play video games, I was like, this is ridiculous. And they're like, well, my son was like, well, what's different than watching other people play sports?
Very different to me, because I know that behind the scenes, they're working in a structured environment. They're working in a structure that was manufactured that you cannot escape from. There are only so many right turns you can make inside the game, where in real life, you can make right turns till the end of time. Or left turn, right turn, you can, whatever that thing is.
Or until you fall off the edge of the flat
whatever,
earth.
that kind of thing. So I know that you're limited by the architecture of the game. That is the difference between gaming and the real life. You're limited by the architecture. There are some things that no matter how good you get, you can never, ever do.
But like with this golf, it's I guess it's sort of a blend because it's clearly like, these guys are using their actual golf skills to
I think the game, from what I've been told, and I haven't seen it, and everybody that I've heard talk about it, they talk about the play a little bit, but I think the draw to this is because it's such a casual environment, the interaction amongst the players. And I think that's the one thing that we have always wanted, to really be in the foursome, to be standing next to the caddy going, and we want to be there. And I think that would be the draw for me.
I didn't see anyone drinking beer, but I feel like they should.
Oh, they better be. Yeah, everybody should. Yeah, I want them to be playing a casual round of golf with money on it. I'd like to be standing next to those guys, like in all the YouTube videos that my son watches. Just the pro golfers just having fun, playing for money, obviously. There's a $1,000 putt on the line, but it's not a tournament.
I think they made a mistake by not inviting John Daly.
Oh, yeah.
Who's just like sucking down heaters and, pounding bush lights. Like that would have made it so much better.
He has to have repeatedly turned down money for a live series.
Oh, yeah.
He has, because he's a living embodiment of what the modern day athlete wants to be without actually being it, because he is, pay me and I'll do it.
Yeah. I like it when guys can be successful despite their body limitations.
And for all the things we talk, despite their body limitations. Like I always say, I love a fat kicker. But the thing about John Daly is, despite the legend, and it's all true, he hasn't been in jail.
No.
It's not the bad stuff, but he's just the embodiment of
just a dude,
the party golfer,
like Bartolo Colon.
Those guys that we all appreciate.
Wow, how does he do that?
That survives despite the fact that he has abused his body beyond belief.
Yeah,
we love to see that.
Good for him.
And I guess that the more we know about that, it'll pierce the legend, because nobody can live like that long, right?
Well,
he'd be dead.
I don't know about you, but and obviously I haven't seen a lot of these players were so much before my time, just because when I grew up, I know even in the 70s there were people smoking in the dugouts, but the idea of Mickey Mantle showing up hammered and being the greatest baseball player in the world is so fascinating to me. And I guess when you're doing it against a bunch of other beer leaguers, that's
exactly it. So it kind of, when I hear the old timers tell those stories, you're like, well, how good could y'all have been?
Right.
You're like, how good could have been if Mickey Mantle could have showed up, 18 beers in and gone and beaten your ass. I mean, how good could this whole league have been?
Yeah, I pitched a perfect game on LSD. Okay, well, you were pitching to a bunch of drunk guys.
Right, obviously. So you're pitching to the drunk, because we know there's no possible way that could happen today. You'd be out of the league.
Yeah. All right, let's hit a break. We'll come back. It's Morning Huddle 94.1.
Dr. Jacob Torres has been my physician for quite some time. He did not begin as my PA, as my physician of record. My general practitioner. I was referred to him as a weight loss doctor, the Institute for Functional Health. I didn't know at the time that that under the umbrella of the IFF, so many things were going on. I just walked in the door talking about losing weight. I had reached the end of the rope. Wasn't sure I could ever lose weight. Really didn't want to diet. I was hoping he had some kind of magic pill. He didn't. But he did describe to me how he was going to make it successful. And let me tell you something. If for anybody who's ever tried to lose weight and did it, it can be an exhausting and awful experience. And it's something you don't ever want to do again. And if you don't see any results, why would you even try? And Dr. Torres understands that. He understands that losing weight is both a physical and a mental battle, and he addresses both in ways that you might not have ever thought of before. So before you consider putting shots in yourself every day and spending a whole bunch of money, you can lose the weight with the right kind of guidance. I want you to call Dr. Torres and let him explain to you why he's been so successful. He doesn't have a miracle pill or a miracle thing. It involves some duty and some work, but let me tell you, at the end of the day, the success is imminent if you follow the process, and I am living proof. 80 pounds down and still on a lifestyle that I'm very proud to say I'm never going to get off. If it's time for you to lose weight and keep it off, if you don't want to go with the pills or the injectables, I want you to call Dr. Torres today. His number is 210-468-1891. The website is iffhealth.com. Go there. Go through it. Answer the questions he asks, but do yourself a favor and make that call and talk to him. Listen, if it's time to lose weight, whether a doctor's telling you or if you've decided there's no better option than Dr. Torres, call him today, and I know you're going to come by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are in good shape as you head out and about. Traffic volume still light, so all our major freeway systems looking good. It's going to take you about 27 minutes, 1604 westbound from I-10 to 281. It's a 20-minute ride on 1604 northbound I-10 on up to 35. 281 southbound 1604 to Wurzbach Parkway, about a 5-minute ride. And I-10 eastbound 410 to 35, that's less than 5 minutes. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Think It Up. Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Is health or fitness a goal this year? Great news. The King of Paddle has arrived in San Antonio with 8 pickleball and 6 paddle courts. Their indoor facility suits all skill levels from beginners to seasoned players. Mark your calendar for their January 18th and 19th winter tournament. Find details at thekingofpaddle.com or at the King of Paddle SA on social media. Visit their new downtown location at 314 Nolan Street or check out the new King of Paddle facility with us tomorrow as we broadcast the Blitz live from 2 to 6.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your nature-made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. We can help you save on the right oil for your vehicle. Right now, get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge Full Synthetic or Castrol Edge Full Synthetic High Mileage Motor Oil with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for just $35.99. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Ow! Sweetie, come here. Don't worry. I see a lot of patients with the exact same thing.
Ever since the ice skating rink went in next door?
Or is it more than
Dr. Clark's business is heating up.
So many patients need my help. How will I find time to see all of them?
They need to hire a scheduler, stat.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with autopay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without autopay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-507-9624. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-9624. That's 800-507-9624. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Now's the time to shop limited time doorbuster deals during Lowe's Pro Savings Days. Save $50 on a Little Giant King Combo 6-foot ladder. Was $199, now $149. Doorbusters valid 113 to 115. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the search for a new Cowboys head coach continues.
RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com has his Cowboys coaching tracker up to date. We'll get the latest.
And the Spurs make it back home. They'll take on the Memphis Grizzlies. We'll talk about that.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Do you guys do, like, or do your kids do football cards, baseball cards, any of that stuff?
They did Pokemon,
Okay.
but they never did cards like I did. They never did collecting.
I got talked into something last night that I've never done before.
You didn't invest in a pack, did you?
I did.
Pokemon?
Panini pack?
No, like football cards.
That can pay, but
and the way this works is fascinating. There's this guy on the internet who's got he's got like an online store, and the way it works, he's got 4 boxes of football cards, and they call them box breaks. He's going to do a box break, which when I was a kid, we just called it opening up football cards.
Getting the gum and hoping I got my guy.
But the way he does it is, like, he puts every team up for bid.
All right.
And you can buy all the cards that get pulled from these boxes for one team or however many teams you want.
And there might be a gold wrap or something unique about one of the cards.
So my buddy is a Giants fan, and he's like, let's get in this thing. And he tells me this 2 nights ago. And I'm like, dude, I don't even know what this is. He's like, and he's big into cards, and he's like, dude, this is a great it's a great set. And he's like, just make an offer on the Bills and see what the guy will take. So my buddy's got the Giants and the Seahawks, and he's paid like $120 for the 2 of them.
All right.
And the Bills come up for bid. And
is there a specific card you're chasing? Are there certain cards that are on the box that say likelihood of this, or there's something in here?
Well, yes, there's a thing called a kaboom card, which is what everybody was chasing. Yeah. But I bought the Bills, and it was $90.
And that was it an auction?
Basically, like, every price for every team is listed.
Mm-hmm.
And when they come up, you can either say buy now, like they rotate through, and you can say buy now, or you can custom make an offer. So he was asking $120 for the Bills. I said, I'll do 90. Which there is, like, the most expensive team, and I figured out why. The most expensive team was the Washington Commanders.
Because of Jaden?
Yes, because what you're craving is the rookies, obviously. Yeah. And Jaden Daniels is going to be the Rookie of the Year. So anything you find with him, that's the big money.
The kaboom, whatever that kaboom card could be, is probably more likely to be a Josh Allen or a star, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I almost bought a second team because it was cheap. And if I would have hit the kaboom card.
That's like buying the salad at the steakhouse.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's how they get you.
But that's who hit the kaboom card was the Steelers.
Oh, really?
It was Terry Bradshaw kaboom card. And, like, I don't know anything about these, but apparently they're so rare. There's like one per every case, like every 4 or 5 boxes. There's one of these kaboom cards,
right?
And these things are worth like several $100s. That's what the people are looking for. Well, the expensive teams at the end were nobody bought Washington, and nobody bought Minnesota, and this box. I swear to God, I got one card out of the whole thing.
Are you watching something?
I'm watching the stream.
Oh, man, all right.
I'm watching the stream. I got one card out of the whole thing. There was one Buffalo Bills card in the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a Keon Coleman rookie card. It's numbered out of 49, and it's got a piece of his jersey on it. I'm like, oh. My buddy was like, dude, that's a great card. That's a great. You got your money worth. Which I don't know if that's a $90 card. I don't know. But I'm telling you now, you had the Minnesota Vikings on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
First thing the guy pulls, it's a J.J. McCarthy rookie card. It's numbered out of 50. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty nice. And then the next pack, a J.J. McCarthy rookie card numbered out of like 120, except this one is autographed and it has 4 pieces of his jersey on it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, man, Vikings. He's like, are you kidding me? Wow, what a hit for, the Vikings. The next pack, another one of those jersey autograph ones that's like numbered out of 40.
Somebody made a mistake.
Oh, my buddy was so mad that like all the hero cards were on one guy. Like that guy owned the whole box basically.
The poor Vikings. Something good has to happen to a Viking fan every now and again.
Well, now
something nice.
And what'll happen is J.J. McCarthy will end up being a total bum.
Well, that's why sell now. Don't wait. But I mean, something good needs to happen to a Viking fan.
But I'll be honest, like I don't really care that much about cards anymore. I used to like cards when I was a kid. I don't care about them that much anymore. But it was kind of fun. Like, I mean, I still feel like I lost money on the deal, but
I appreciate the fact that you did it because I wouldn't even have done it.
The chase of being the guy who bought the Vikings is like so appealing to me. And you pay $150, you would have gotten all that stuff.
Yeah, it's like playing bingo. It's the same thing. He bought a different bingo card than you did, and you're watching somebody get bingo, and you didn't.
So I used to be in a Facebook group when I had Facebook, especially when I was like, deep into beer.
Deep into beer.
I was. So there'd be like there'd be a bottle, or sometimes it would be liquor, like bourbon. And let's say there's a bottle of bourbon that's like a bottle of Pappy 20. And it normally you would have to pay, $2,000 to get this bottle. Mm-hmm. But instead, 10 dudes pick a number 1 through 10 and pay $200.
I know some guys that just about everything of value, they've always done this.
And then whatever the lotto, the Powerball number is, like whatever the last number of the Powerball, if it's 0 through 9, that's how that's who gets the.
I know guys that bought cars that way. They have they have a group of dudes that it's half gambling, half fun.
It is kind of gambling, and I kind of dug it. Like I said, I don't know that there's like, I have to figure out what football and baseball cards are actually worth.
That's a life I'm not going to do.
Obviously.
The problem with that is when you're dealing with something that is of value only to those that are paying attention. And if other people were paying attention, the value would be different. Yeah. I'm always wary of that.
Because it feels like most people pay attention to the NFL at least.
No, I'm not saying that what you were doing was different. But, the thing is, the Viking card was great, but there might not have been a single Viking fan watching that day. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And you kind of blunder into, I'm $100. And just because you're there at the right time, right place, you fall into it. But to me, it's more likely than not that I will be in the wrong place at the wrong time because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Now, my buddy, he paid $90 for the Giants and $30 for the Seahawks. I guess the Seahawks don't have any good rookies, so he got like a good deal on the Seahawks. He got one Malik Neighbors card out of the break. He got 0 Seahawks cards. And I started thinking, like, if I had bought a team and I got shut out, I would be pissed if I got shut out.
Well, see, that's the volatility of that is a little bit beyond my.
That's beyond
capacity.
your flavor, huh?
Yeah.
I don't go for that.
I don't go for. You mean I got nothing? There ain't a single Seahawk.
You mean I paid for that guy's J.J. McCarthy cards?
So I didn't even get like a Kenny Easley Kaboom card.
Sucks.
Sean Alexander's greatest runs card. I didn't get one of those either.
All right. Let's talk some coaching on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are in good shape as you head out and about. Traffic volume still light, so all our major freeway systems looking good. It's going to take you about 27 minutes, 1604 westbound from I-10 to 281. It's a 20-minute ride on 1604 northbound I-10 on up to 35. 281 southbound 1604 to Wurzbach Parkway, about a 5-minute ride. And I-10 eastbound 410 to 35, that's less than 5 minutes. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing. Yes, even you.
If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like discovering a refund tree has grown in your backyard.
I'm the refund tree.
Sawing off its branches.
Hey!
Feeding them through a wood chipper.
My branches! My beautiful branches!
And dancing in its refund rain. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. Offer ends soon.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn ever since I turned 40. I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text HATCH to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HATCH to 42424. That's HATCH to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You've decided to divorce. I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you're worried about getting the bills paid, childcare, and your divorce, we'll help make it simple, painless, and affordable.
Your future matters. Call the law office of Steve Benke.
Call 210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like discovering a refund tree has grown in your backyard.
I'm the refund tree.
Sawing off its branches.
Hey!
Feeding them through a wood chipper.
My branches! My beautiful branches!
And dancing in its refund rain. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, This is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Progressive presents Renters MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The worry is, of course, that if I get into these sports cards again, I'll just revert to being like kid AJ, and I'll be watching pro wrestling and
eating fruit roll-ups.
Yeah,
and using your backup cards as
for your spokes on your bike.
Not your good card, but the backup.
I'm not as old as you. I didn't do that.
Oh no! See, I would have like 2 versions of the Robert Newhouse Dallas Cowboy fullback card.
Yep.
And the good ones I kept, but the other ones would go into my bike spokes, so you'd hit the when you're driving.
Yeah.
And that was only good for a day, so you'd cycle through a lot of cards.
I never understood why people wanted their bicycles to be loud.
What are you talking about? Why wouldn't you want
I don't
it loud?
know. I'll be.
Who wants a quiet bike?
This is the thing I've never understood. And my kids, I don't understand this about my kids at all. When I was a kid, if I was playing video games, my whole goal was to be
immersed
off my parents' radar. Like, quiet. I don't want to bother them. I don't want them bothering me. I would shut my door, and I'd be in there, and I'd just do my thing.
Uh-huh.
My kids are wearing these headsets.
Yeah, and they're talking.
They're yelling.
Yeah.
They're like, it's like, they've got to have the volume way up. It's like,
during COVID, every night I went to war.
Oh, man.
Excuse me. Every night, my son down the hall during COVID, about 10 p.m., he and like 8 dudes would get on and start playing. I want to
like a Call of Duty type game?
Well, it was exactly Call of Duty, but I'm trying to remember which one that had it dropped at the time. It was either
some Modern Warfare.
It was either Modern Warfare or Call of Duty, but whichever one dropped at that moment. Every night, dude, I could hear like, on your right. I mean, all night we went to war. So, no, there's no more quiet stuff.
Now, when you say we went to war, did that mean like you joined him in the game, or you went
periodically,
and got on his ass and told him to shut up?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd be laying in bed and hear maneuvers like, he's on your left. You know, it was in war. I heard the play-by-play of a war.
It drives me crazy.
Oh gosh, yeah. But
I tell them, I'm like, when I played video games, I wanted no one to know I was playing video games.
I had my headphones on and I was immersed. I was in the game.
And I was also in a time when like my wife can look at her phone and know how long the kids have been playing video games.
Oh, that sucks.
When I was a kid, it's like if they came in and said, "How long have you been playing?" and it had been 4 hours, I'd go 15 minutes, and they'd be like, "All right, cool." Mm-hmm. Like, it's
turn
just
to him cross-eyed with your hands in a claw.
Yeah,
Only
like,
15 minutes.
My fingers are all stuck together from Dorito dust from like 3 nights ago.
I can't feel my feet.
There's like 20 Pepsi bottles strewn around the room. The old Shaq Big Slam bottles.
Yeah. Mountain Dew.
I remember fighting through Tekken I think I spent like 72 hours straight playing Tekken.
Dude, I played so much Street Fighter 2.
Same thing, yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. I spent like days.
There was once I don't want to say it was like a knockoff of those two games, but a game came out called Killer Instinct.
I don't know that one.
And me and my buddies played this thing for hours. And then of course like the NBA lives, and like I said, I was a big NHL 94 guy. But no one ever knew I was playing these games. And
I don't want to know. Some of the stuff I don't want to know, especially about my kids. I don't want to know.
Oh, my 17-year-old keeps a roll of toilet paper on his bed. Like, he's not even hiding.
Like, dude, I don't want to.
It's like, what are you doing,
well,
dude?
My wife's always like, well, the boys are in the bathroom for so long. Like, just don't question. Just leave. Don't even think.
And my wife is like, I always knock before I go in his room.
Oh,
always.
Well, yeah, don't ever just burst in on your no, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, he's of the age that it doesn't end well.
You said you were combing your hair.
I didn't mean my head hair.
No, I'm just. That's when you go suddenly. Your kid isn't shaving, but you hear the trimmer. Like, what's going on in there?
Yeah. Yep. All right, the coaching search. We've gotten nowhere on this coaching search so far for Dallas, and I don't know.
Does silence make you when all quiet on the Western Front? And there are some organizations when it's all quiet, it makes you feel like, all right, the brain trust is at work. And there's some organizations where you go, it is too quiet over there. There's something not right. When Jerry is quiet, are you comforted or are you worried?
Here's why I'm.
I worry is probably a bad term for you, but as Cowboy fans, should they be comforted by the silence? We don't know what the hell's going on, or should they be very worried that, oh no, Jerry's going to do something absolutely nuts here?
I think, and again, you know more about the internal workings of Jerry Jones more than I do, but my thought originally was Jerry's been quiet since all this came down because he's embarrassed about how he handled it. Because this is the first time anybody's really given him backlash. Like, that was what Jerry did was shady and dirty.
You know what? That's
I think
probable out. I might almost agree with you.
I really think like there.
I'd like to agree with you.
I think I'm sure Jerry doesn't walk around often feeling ashamed of his actions. Like usually billionaires don't have much shame in that way. But I do think that the outcry from fans and media and like everybody was like, dude, that was really bad. I think he's embarrassed about it. I really do. And I think he's kind of like trying to let that blow over a little bit.
You know what? That would make some sense.
And it's funny. We live in a world now, Rob, where things will blow over very quickly.
Oh, no, yeah. No, the news cycle is what it is.
Do you guys know that Joy Taylor was sleeping her way to the top of Fox? I don't hear a word about it anymore.
Oh,
like that popped last week, and now it's like that's old news.
That'll be back. That
Joy
boomerang.
Taylor's just. I think it's coming.
Will be back.
I think it'll be back after the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, it'll be back once it goes to trial. Trust me, that boomerang's coming back.
But the fact that like that bombshell hits, and then it's just like, well, now we don't talk
Jerry
about that anymore.
Understands that, and that's part of. I would like to think the silence right now. I would hope that he is seeking the consult, the knowledge of others around the league. He's gone to his board of directors. Well, just calling his fellow owners around the league, like what just getting some consultation about who the next hire is and why it should be that guy from people that he trusts. I would like to think that's the silence, though I know that's not the case.
Hello?
It's too quiet.
Hello? Hey, Dan Snyder?
That's my fear. Are you calling Dan Snyder and talking to the ghost of Al Davis?
Now that we're not competing against each other, maybe you can give me a little advice.
What would you do? Well, have you sent somebody into the cheerleaders' locker room yet? Well, I did, and we got caught for that. But okay, what else? Have you held up? Have you written some bigoted letters?
Yeah.
Have you done that yet?
What should I do with this problem? Have sex with it.
Have you tried to have you tried to pay him off and hit on him in the building? Have you played porn in front of him in the office? Have you done that yet? Well, see, that's what you got to do, man. See, it's too quiet, and that's my fear, that he is very quietly in the silence down the hall in a dark room like a 9-year-old is about to do something absolutely crazy. Like, you know what, this Jason Witten idea is really grabbing me.
It very well could be.
You know, and you're like, oh, my God, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody who knows and said, that's a bad idea, Jerry. That's a bad idea. I wouldn't do that. Let me tell you why. That is on equal ground with him, that Jerry can't just buy, pay off, or look at as a peon.
Yeah.
You know, and talk to somebody who can and would do the very same thing and say, don't do that, Jerry.
Well, I don't know if Jerry's the kind of guy who is going to, like,
he's not, but I like to think he would be.
Like, they would ever publicly come out and go, you know what, I didn't handle that. Although I guess he did with Wade Phillips. He's like, I wish I would.
But it took a decade.
Yeah. I don't think he's coming out in the next week and saying, I wish I'd handled this differently with Mike McCarthy. Like, I wish I'd let him talk to the Bears when he wanted to, because that would have been the right thing to do, especially after I said I would let him do that if someone came to him. But I do think he might be a little embarrassed at how he handled it. And the not how he probably wasn't embarrassed at the act. He was probably embarrassed at the reaction from and I know
I didn't see that coming.
Now I know Jerry loves to be talked about, good, bad, or indifferent, like generally, but that was one of those things where it's like, dude, that's a really scummy move. And I think he's like, oh damn, maybe it was.
You're right, because we're not talking football here. We're talking manners. You know, talking that every grandmother knows. You know, I don't know if he's a good coach, but you don't act like that.
Well, like I said, you're playing with a dude's livelihood.
Yeah,
it was just wrong.
Do that. So I get that maybe even when he went home, his wife was, Eugenia was like, you didn't do that very well, Jerry.
Yeah,
you need to handle that better.
Shut your hole and make me a pot pie.
But I will say, honey, I will say this: the quieter it is, the longer it goes, the more I think what I want to happen is going to happen.
The Deion thing.
The more it goes without Deion actually signing something to prolong his employment with Colorado, which it appears he's trying to leverage right now. Until I see that, until he hires somebody else, I'm going to assume that Jerry's going to do the Jerryest thing possible in this silence, and that would be to hire Deion. And I'm all in. I want this to happen. So far, so good for me.
It's so funny to me that you want Deion because me, as a non-Cowboy fan, and now someone who is working at a station where we talk Cowboys every day, I kind of want Deion for that reason. I can't imagine I would want Deion if I was an actual fan of the team. I would be like, that would be my nightmare. But for me, as someone who's just paid money to talk about things, it's fascinating.
It should be. It should be, because it's a very interesting case study, because I, of all people, am always the one that preaches continuity. Just, you know what? You've laid some good foundation. We know what works. Keep working on the good stuff, and we'll fix the bad stuff as we have to. I'm not the throw everything out and start over kind of guy. I don't erase the blackboard. But it's time to do that, at least from the coaching style. The coaches you have hired since the crazy hire, and the crazy hire was Jimmy Johnson. The crazy hire was this guy out of college. Are you kidding me? This rah-rah dude that, no, this isn't going to work. And it did. And ever since then, he's done the right football thing, at least in his mind. Now it's time to do something crazy, because everything to this point has not worked. And this is your last swing at bat, man. You are literally in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah.
So I think it's time for him, in his mind, to go, everything that everybody told me I should, and I kind of bent that way even though I shouldn't. I should have drafted Johnny. He'd have been a better quarterback. And now I'm going to get me some Deion.
Like I said, I'm good with that. If I'm a Cowboy fan, though, that's my nightmare scenario.
Well, some of that has to do with my job security.
I was going to say, yeah, you're like walking that line of both. All right, hour number 2 coming up. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1.
Riding the work with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle, KTFM Floresville. South Texas College Football. Most wonderful time of the year for fans. Bowl season is no exception. The biggest and best matchups this bowl season are brought to you by Ewald Kubota, the Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue. Hear them all on South Texas' first and only FM sports station, 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This report is sponsored by Think It Up. Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
The King of Paddle, a premier pickleball and paddle club in downtown San Antonio, is now open, and we're taking the Blitz live tomorrow from 2 to 6. State-of-the-art indoor courts, vibrant atmosphere in one location. Located at 314 Nolan Street, join us at the King of Paddle tomorrow.
Joe, I've invented the perfect exercise machine. It's practical, efficient, and fits in any home. I give you the Row and Go. Ta-da! It's a rowing machine that connects to your toilet, so you can row and...
Stop. Folks, at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC will help homes stay in tip-top shape. Call Quarter Moon 651-5899.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899.
License number M16004, TACLA 141074E.
On Super Sunday, you could be the crunch time hero. PorkRinds.com is bringing you a game-changing twist to your big day because it's also Pork Rind Appreciation Day. The crispy, crunchy, crave-worthy snack you love deserves its moment. PorkRinds.com is celebrating by giving you a chance to win tickets to the 2026 big game in Santa Clara. Enter at PorkRinds.com and become your own crunch time hero. This Super Sunday, make sure your snack game is on point. Celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day. Get in on the action at PorkRinds.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back, I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's up, football fans? BetMGM is giving you the chance to win up to $250,000 in bonus bet credits. It's all part of BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot, where you could be able to split the grand prize with anyone else who bet on the longest touchdown of the week. Log into your BetMGM account today and opt into the promo. Then place an anytime touchdown wager of $10 or more on the player of your choice, up to one player per game. If your player scores the longest touchdown of the week, you'll win a share of the $250K in credits. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot subject to rules. See BetMGM.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are unrestricted rewards credits that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card.
One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
Designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
Windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like a new trouble spot, 35 northbound Judson Road, northeast side of town. Accident taking up 2 left lanes, so start moving over to your right side. It's about a 15-minute delay, has you slow from Loop 410. Still working the accident, Wurzbach Parkway at Crosswinds. Did clear the stall at 35 northbound at George Beach. We've got ongoing road work, 35 northbound. The off-ramp to 1604 is blocked, and 35 upper level southbound connector to westbound I-10 downtown. Connector ramp has the roadway reduced to 1 lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The Spurs return to action tonight at 500, sitting at 19-19, welcoming in the third in the West Memphis Grizzlies. Tip will be at 7 o'clock at the Frost Center. The Dallas Cowboys continue their search for a head coach as Mike McCarthy is already getting looks around the league. He is scheduled to meet with the Chicago Bears today for an interview. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
7 o'clock, Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Good morning, everybody. I should have, let me see if my page has been moved. I'll see if I can find it. I've got some sound that I wanted to play for you. Where is my page? God, I hate this stuff. Here we go. They asked a fella named Kellen Moore about his interest level in the Dallas Cowboys coaching job. You interested in that?
No.
Well,
I've had some of that meal before. It wasn't that good.
Well, let me tell you this. Dan Graziano did an article today, maybe it was yesterday, on the predictions and candidates for all the open jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan Graziano said, my prediction, Kellen Moore, current Eagles
and
OC.
He's probably in the neighborhood because Jerry has processes that he does over and over. Everybody does certain things the same way over and over. And his is, I only hire people I know. You know, especially in situations where I recently fired somebody. He stepped out of bounds with McCarthy. It didn't really work. So he's going to go back to something familiar. So I would say, just in the right out of the blocks, I would have said the odds on were either Moore or Zimmer, just because, or Witten, just because it's somebody he knows.
Now, DraftKings has odds on the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. You care to guess who the?
Well, I think it's Moore, Witten, or Dion would be in the lead. But not because it would be the right move. It would be the Jerry move.
Well, I'll go in. There's 9 candidates listed here, and I'll go from longest odds to shortest. Aaron Glenn plus 950. Jason Witten plus 850.
Good.
That's number 8 on the list.
I'm happy at least somebody else thinks that's stupid.
Number 7, Steve Sarkisian.
Wow, Sark's got nearer odds than Witten. I don't agree with that.
750 on Sark, 850 on Witten. 650 on Bill Belichick.
I don't agree with that either.
$550 on Ben Johnson.
Now we're starting to get in the ballpark. That would be the smartest of the least best options would be him.
I don't think he'll take this job.
I don't think he will either.
And just a little hint here: Brian Flores isn't even on the list. I don't think Brian Flores is. I don't think he would work for Jerry.
I do think there's that. And I think because of Jerry's affiliation with the league and the processes that he plays such a huge role in, it might put him in a weird situation when that lawsuit comes to fruition because he might have to testify against himself.
Fourth on the odds is Joe Brady, plus 450, the Bills OC.
We're kind of in the neighborhood where I like these numbers. These are the guys that if we're stuck with a non-former head coach, Johnson and Brady are my two favorites.
The last of the former head coaches on the list comes in at number 3 in the odds at plus 350. Cliff Kingsbury, Washington Commanders OC.
Hey, it's different. Who knows? But no.
What I would say is Kingsbury and I think Kingsbury's been thriving with Jaden Daniels because Kingsbury likes to have mobile quarterbacks who have big arms, like a guy who can move around and throw the ball down the field. I don't think Dak can move anymore. I don't think he's going to start moving.
I completely agree.
So, like, to go from Kyler Murray to Jaden Daniels to Dak is going to be like, oh, my plays don't work anymore.
Well, and that's one of the reasons if I'm Kingsbury, I don't necessarily take this job because I'm hamstringing myself.
Second in the odds, Kellen Moore, Eagles OC, plus 250. Spent 8 years here as a player and coach, 4 seasons as the OC. And they had some good offenses in that town.
Best years were under him.
And the leader in the clubhouse at even money, Deion Sanders.
Again, until Deion physically signs another deal, I will believe it's possible unless the Cowboys have another coach, or probable. I just feel like the silence is deafening.
John says Kellen Moore, some other OC as the head coach, Deion as the DC, and
Deion ain't coming.
Deion ain't going to be a coordinator.
Unless his office is in the corner.
Yeah. And let's face it, you don't want Deion to, like, if you're putting him as a coordinator, now you're counting more on his X's and O's than his leadership skills.
Deion-ness. Yes, there's only one thing for Deion to do in this.
That's it, man.
And he ain't taking anything less.
No, you don't want Deion drawing up defenses. Like, that ain't going to work, Bubba. But here's what Kellen Moore had to say when they asked him about the potential opening.
I mean, obviously, I've spent a lot of time there, 8 years there, and so obviously have plenty of relationships about that place. And so, I love it here. I've had so much fun here. It's been a really fun process, and we're in a really special situation right now, getting the chance to play this Sunday, have a chance to make a run at this thing, and that's really all you worry about. Everything else is what it is, and we'll see where it takes you.
I talked yesterday to Jordan Schultz from Fox Sports, and it kind of asked him if, like, because he's the one who kind of reported that they were talking initially. I guess he was the one who broke the development that they were talking about it. And I said, how real do you think it is? And he's like, it seems pretty real to me.
Kellen?
No, Deion.
Yeah, it does seem real. I'm not – people think I'm joking when I'm talking about this. This is a guy that Jerry knows. He's been in the building. He's got a name, and he's a guy that he can control.
Yeah.
He's a guy that he's new to this, and Deion has his own agenda. And some of it is, I don't want to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys all the time. I got a talk show to do. I got my prime time stuff to do. I got my Geico commercials. I got my Blenders glasses to sell. I don't want to be the Dallas Cowboys coach all the time. Jerry can fill the void, and I'm fine with that.
Claymore says Kellen refers to Dallas as that place. You got to remember, Kellen's in the playoffs right now with the Philadelphia Eagles. He don't want he ain't looking for that heat right now at the moment. And you know what? This happened over the weekend too. I'm curious your thoughts on it. Do you think fans care? Like, as a Cowboy fan, let's say CeeDee Lamb is going to watch one of his buddies who he played college football with play for the Eagles and he's cheering Eagles victories. Would that bother you as a Cowboy fan?
Are we already out?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it doesn't bother.
Okay. Because there was a bunch of footage came of like Malik Neighbors was at Jaden Daniels' playoff win, and he's cheering on his college, and I think they're like best friends, Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors. I think they were best friends in college, and he's like cheering on the Giants winning a playoff game, and
I don't care.
Or the Commanders winning a playoff game, and Giants fans are like, dude, we don't cheer for the Commanders to win anything.
Settle down, brother. Chill, bro.
Yeah, I'm not that hardcore.
Yeah. You're out.
But it's clear that there are some NFL fans who are.
Well, it would be very different if we were still playing and he had flown to see his best friend play because we were off this weekend and was cheering for that guy to be successful, knowing full well that we might be meeting them. I wouldn't like that, but that's not what he did. He's on his own time.
Right. He's in this off season.
No, I would have no problem with that at all. None.
I don't think I would either, but it was obvious that people had a problem with it. Jordan says, I wish Vance Joseph got some more love for the head coaching spot.
Maybe. But what is Vance Joseph?
Vance Joseph sucked as a head coach.
Everybody's a victim of their environments. But when I look at that potential head coaches, I'm like, what do you bring to the table that is different and unique that would make me hire you over somebody else? And it seems to me that there's a lot of dudes that do exactly what Vance Joseph does. I don't see an extraordinary wrinkle in an offense. I don't see anything new that has sent me to him. I don't see the things that have taken me back to another retread in like Flores where I see consistency and I see the kind of things that I want. I think there's a lot of dudes doing what a lot of guys like Vance Joseph does. So I don't feel bad that he's not on the list.
I think, and Vance was in Houston when I was there. I think Vance is a pretty good DC. I think he's obviously doing a pretty good job in Denver as a DC.
I think he's fine, but I think his time has come and gone.
Yeah, I don't want Vance Joseph to be my head coach.
No.
He did it for 2 years, and they were two massive disappointments.
And I don't blame. Sometimes you're not right for the job, or sometimes you're just not right. And I think for him, he wasn't right for the job and never got another opportunity. But as that goes, so it goes. You just don't get another one.
Yeah. He had the first back-to-back Broncos losing seasons since 1972. They ran his ass right out of town.
Yeah, he's a pretty good wide receiver, though, in his day.
You're gone, friend. You are gone. All right. Obviously, we'll get more as it comes down on the Cowboys situation, but there's the latest on the odds and the likelihoods.
Do you think Colorado is busting ass right now to find money?
No.
I don't think they are.
I think Colorado realizes
somebody might take them off at a profit. You know what I mean? They're going to sell
$8 million
high.
in their pocket.
I think they'll sell high on this if they get a chance to get out from underneath.
I think so, too.
But the problem with the modern college football world, as quickly as they appeared, they will disappear just as fast. Everybody going to get on the train outside of Boulder, and the Colorado will revert back to where they were.
No doubt.
Overnight.
But you know what? They've already sold a bunch of season
tickets.
tickets.
That's what I'm saying. So this year they got some money, and maybe they can get a hot young coach and start to build the program the way that really it should be built, not on the long-term success of a young coach instead of a hot coach that could leave at any second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they'll be okay. They're not. I don't think they were going to win anything anyway. Really, like they're not going to win anything major. So it's.
But think of the
put
money
your program on the map.
That they can invest in the new facilities.
We went to that game. There was there's more Colorado football fans right now than there have been since Vance Joseph was playing at Colorado,
Pretty much.
in the early '90s.
Yeah.
So it's the program's at a high right now. I'm sure Colorado is happy with their investment, but if someone comes along and says we're going to give you $8 million to take Dion away, Colorado ain't going to be mad about it.
The best way I can kind of I've lived this when Johnny was in College Station. It was time for Johnny to go. Things were getting a little out of hand. But go look at that practice facility that should be named the Johnny Manziel practice facility. Go look at all the things that Johnny built. And it was time for him to go. I mean, we love Johnny, and he will always have a place in our hearts. But by the end, prior to the NIL stuff, and there was possibility of all kinds of sanctions coming down the road. We were both happy to part ways, but we're happy he was there. And I think Colorado's probably about the point we are with Johnny. Like, yeah, this has been real fun, but it's getting out of hand. I'm afraid the cops are coming.
Yeah,
it's time for you to go home. The cops are going to be here at midnight.
Thanks for getting us this add-on built to Kyle Field. It's awesome.
Exactly. We love it. You're welcome back anytime, but you're going to have to go.
It's like Pete Carroll at USC.
Yeah.
It was like, this was a good, hey, Pete, we had a good run.
Good run.
Let's just park mutual friends. And they're like, yeah, it's a good idea.
And would go to the side and lean in like, I will never testify against you. As we separate, I just want you to know.
Pinky promise.
Yes, pinky promise. I'll never tell if you won't, right, bro?
All right, we'll be right back. Morning Huddle 94.1.
South Texas, get ready for the ultimate sports talk experience. The one and only Rich Eisen is on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. With over 20 years of NFL experience, Rich Eisen brings breaking stories, expert analysis, and exclusive interviews with sports legends to your airwaves with unmatched wit, insight, and passion. Catch all the action every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show, only on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is playoff time. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. You know Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes during the playoffs. Be like me and 5 million other happy players winning money watching games with their Pick'em game, where you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. You can cook up fire entries for a shot to win real cash prizes all playoff long. You can even take football and basketball and mix them together. Underdog is the only Pick'em platform that puts the power to cash out in your hands. Now you can either keep riding with your entry or tap the Win Now button to cash out whenever you want. Underdog is the best place to play Pick'em. Download the app, sign up with my promo code STAR, and deposit now and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code STAR. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code STAR. Sign up today.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure, dewy skin. Terrific.
Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare. Wow.
With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Now at North Park Chevrolet. Buy a new 2025 Chevrolet Malibu RS posted at $21,999 plus low 1.9% financing. Got a $1,000 owner loyalty bonus on new 2025 Trailblazers plus 3.9% financing for 75 months. And make no payments until May 2025 on new 2025 Trax. Together, let's drive at North Park Chevrolet. 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com. Must qualify for financing offers. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Is health or fitness a goal this year? Great news. The King of Paddle has arrived in San Antonio with 8 pickleball and 6 paddle courts. Their indoor facility suits all skill levels from beginners to seasoned players. Mark your calendar for their January 18th and 19th winter tournament. Find details at thekingofpaddle.com or at the King of Paddle SA on social media. Visit their new downtown location at 314 Nolan Street or check out the new King of Paddle facility with us tomorrow as we broadcast the Blitz live from 2 to 6.
Something amazing is happening in business. More companies are turning to Mac. From finance to fulfillment, CDW will seamlessly support Mac integration into your organization. With the power of Apple Silicon, best-in-class security, and compatibility across your favorite apps, your team will have the performance they need and the tools they love. Make amazing happen. Mac and CDW. Learn more at cdw.com/Apple.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
It's showtime. Let's do it. It's fun time. Here we go.
South Texas home of the 12-team college football playoff is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. All of the matchups are brought to you by Ewald Kubota, the Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue. Hear every game on South Texas' first and only FM sports station. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime.
Morning Huddle 94.1. I'm looking up sports card shops.
Dude, you're on.
I'm gonna do it.
You're obsessed.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go hit some up now.
You fell in the pit.
You have. They got you.
They
got you.
Where's Vance Jackson Road?
Not far. What are you looking at? Is that the?
I think that's where I'm gonna go. Friends.
You're a card hound.
I don't know that I'm gonna be in. I mean, listen. All it's gonna take is like one. Like, oh, that sucked, and then I'm not gonna do it anymore. But it'll like, again, Rob. I do so little stuff.
I know.
Like,
I got you.
You
need diversions. I got
I'm
you.
a hermit. I go to SA Card House about 2 or 3 times a week, and if I'm not doing that, I stay in my apartment.
I know, and you need the diversion. I've lived that life. I get it. But
so it's just something to pass a little time. You know what I mean?
I just.
Will it make you feel better if I spend my Bitcoin on it?
You know, it's kind of like you telling me. The guys that I knew back in COVID that are like, have you heard of Dogecoin? You were going, oh, God, don't start. Yes, I have, and you're not the first person that came up to me and said that. So I know a lot of dudes it's become a lifestyle, that trading cards and the pursuit of the great card is literally a lifestyle, and it is the rush of breaking the box.
Yes.
That they chase. It's just this need to find it. It doesn't matter what it is, because it's the next box that'll now matter. You just got that card now. You'll put it on the stack. You'll never sell it.
The Jordan rookie card.
Yeah,
is
you'll
always
get
the
it,
number
and
one.
unless you fall into one that's worth $50,000, which I've never known anybody to find one. But I know a lot of guys that have a bunch of $100 cards that they go, oh, it was worth it. And they put it in a drawer and never think about it again. They're just chasing the next box.
And they think, I've got this much money in cards that one day will be money.
At one point, and then the bottom falls out, and we realize that rookie card that was going to be so valuable, the guy was doing rails of coke off a hooker and is now in prison, and the card is no longer of any value. But
I will say the best thing that happened to the card industry is that they have made these like numbered rookie card, so there's not an unlimited supply of them.
Yeah, I get it.
The supply and demand for baseball cards when I was a kid was just out of whack. You could buy a pack of cards for 49 cents, and there was just no. It's hard to have value in something when there's a million of them.
Right. And you rest on the fact that a bunch of dudes will take that card and put it in the drawer, and you'll be the only guy that's willing to sell yours because nobody else even realizes they even have it anymore. There is this created scarcity, so the value is there. And then suddenly it reaches a price where everybody's like, wait a minute, I have one of those cards. So everybody goes to the drawer and pulls it out, and that card that was worth $1,000 yesterday is now worth $150 because 800 dudes suddenly goes, wait a minute, I have that card. And they put it out on the market, and suddenly you're still stuck with a card. So you end up just being the dude with all the cards in the drawer, and you're proud of what you got, but you never do anything about it.
So looks like this place is. Oh, this isn't. I don't think this is far from you.
House of Cards?
No, this.
I live in a house of cards.
Boomtown Sports Cards. It's like right around 1604 in Bandera. Is that
It's not far. Yeah, it's close.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I might go check them out. Robert says, AJ, my daughter and I collect. Hit me up if you have any questions.
See, there you go.
Where do you go, Robert? Because I looked it up. I looked up like hobby shops, but it's mostly people who, like most of the card shops have.
Pokemon and
Pokemon and with the Japanese cartoon anime and that kind of stuff. I don't like that. I don't like anime.
I don't
I don't go for anime
unless there's boobs.
That's right. I don't even like cartoon boobies. This is not my
Unless
thing.
there's nakedness.
Yeah, I don't like the.
Which, by the way, I
naked
didn't
cartoons.
realize the amount of nudity in anime.
Oh, that's once there's nudity, I think it becomes hentai.
Oh, that's it. That's right.
Oh, there we go.
That's the crossover.
So the hentai stuff, I had no idea.
Yeah. My old co-host was into that.
It's almost
he was
a fetish.
He was into a lot of things,
Get a
but he
little
was
weird
into
when-
hentai
If you're
pornography.
into cartoon porn, you've
a
taken
weirdo.
a right turn.
No, I do remember when I was young, Daphne from Scooby-Doo. I had a real thing for
Exactly.
Daphne.
So we all did, but we moved on. We went to humans. We didn't stick with the cartoon.
Like, and obviously a game changer was like Jessica Rabbit when she came along. It's like,
She's not sexy. She's just drawn that way.
But I mean, let's face it, that's created unrealistic expectations for women. You know, women will blame unrealistic expectations on pornography, but let's face it, it's Jessica Rabbit who did that to them,
Or Daphne.
not the porn.
Josie and the Pussycats.
Daphne was all natural, friend. That was
She's a hippie chick.
She wasn't
She was free love.
enhanced. She was she was built for it.
She was
baby.
riding around in a good times van with 3 dudes.
And I think she was. I think Fred had it. I think
Fred wore a neckerchief. He
I
was
think
a
Shaggy
swinger.
had it. I think a lot of people. I think Daphne might have gotten with Velma at one
I
point.
think it was a good times van.
Yeah, I think Daphne got
the Rassel Castle.
She got passed around like a doobie in that van.
I'm telling you. It's just free love. It was hippie time.
Frank says Jessica Rabbit can get the business. Damn right.
That's right.
Damn right. Yeah, okay. A lot of people saying Boomtown's good. Sports Cards Plus. That's what I've seen that one on the interwebs. So we'll see. I'm probably gonna hit one up today.
I have a 1-of-1 trading card of a 9-year-old Klay Thompson.
Ooh, what is it?
Playing for
Autographed?
St. Anthony CYO.
Autographed or
autographed? Well, it's thumb printed. He didn't really
thumb printed. Oh,
he didn't really have it.
What would it grade?
It probably
Is it a PSA 10?
Yes, if it's PSA 10, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean the edges are a little frayed, and there's some Kool-Aid on it.
That sounds like a 4.
A little bit of Kool-Aid,
4.2.
Yeah,
some snot, but other than that,
yeah.
it's
Unless
in
it's
pretty good shape.
like a 58 mantle, I
But
don't
I'm
think.
pretty
that's
sure
the-
it's 1-of-1.
That condition, you're not looking.
Not quite the Hannes Wagner, but you know.
All right. Back to the wide world of sports. As you know, Rob, it is a playoff weekend coming up.
In a variety of ways.
I forget. It's Wednesday, isn't it?
It is Wednesday.
Yes, it
Hump day. Oh my!
We're just a few days away.
I don't like that there's not football tomorrow. Like
it is odd.
This
had
is the
such
first
a flood.
Thursday with no football in
months.
I mean,
months
since the season started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've had football every Thursday, and now we don't have it, and that sucks. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. Oh, I know what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm going to that beer thing.
Yeah, you're drinking beer. Last night was odd, but I found a college basketball game. But it was kind of a strange.
Which game did you watch?
The Aggies lose to Kentucky. Kentucky's a good team. The Aggies.
They are. I watched the BYU Oklahoma State game on my phone while I was playing cards. Oklahoma State sucks at basketball so much.
They do.
You talk about falling off the map. Man, they stink. And then I watched the Georgetown and St. John's game.
How'd Peavy do last night?
I don't know his stat line, but I will say this: Georgetown's they're better than they've been in like 15 years, and it's kind of cool. I like Georgetown. I want Georgetown basketball to be good.
The world is better.
I'm glad that they're good, and I love Big East basketball. It's probably like it's not the best conference, but it's my favorite conference. And I like even the new teams like Marquette and Creighton. I love the way the Big East is built. I love that all the schools are kind of the same. They're kind of all private religion schools, but the basketball itself, like, you're getting in a fight when you play.
It is old school Big East. It truly
dig
is.
it, man. I dig it, and man, I thought Georgetown. I bet Georgetown plus 10, which cashed, but I thought Georgetown might win outright, and I want to see them win games. And Marquette played DePaul, who is generally abysmal,
but improving.
They're clearly improved over the last few years. They're now, I think, they're still winless in Big East play. I think there might be 0-5 or 0-6 in Big East play.
The world is better when DePaul is good.
But that game was down to the wire, a 2-point win for Marquette. So, which I lost money on that one. But yeah, so I watched a little Big East hoop, and then I watched that terrible BYU's not very good either, quite frankly. But they're way better than Oklahoma State, who's probably the worst team in the Big 12 now. When would you have thought that Oklahoma State basketball would be the worst in their conference?
Get BYU now while you can, because Bansa is coming next year.
He'll be there for 15 minutes.
Doesn't
and
matter.
on
That's
his
for
way.
a brief shine in 30 games. You're going to be playing against a man.
Frank says Georgetown might be going to Conference USA. They're trying to get the football program into FBS.
It will never. I keep hearing. I have friends that were Georgetown alums. They're never going to go football.
Why?
There isn't the will, and they're a basketball school. And keep in mind that Georgetown is a Jesuit university, and they have no desire to spend the money. Though there are alumni that are more than willing to put the money out. They play over at the old Commander Stadium when they leave or whatever. So they have plans afoot. I just can't imagine that happening.
Here's what I will say, and I think UConn is like the example of that it can be done. Mm-hmm. You have to be willing to invest, first of all, and you kind of got to hit on a coach. And UConn football was such a disaster, and it would look like, oh, they should have never done this. But then they hired Jim Mora,
right?
And UConn football is a serious thing now. Like, it's good,
but you have to be successful in football. You either have to be all in or make it a loss leader. And I don't think that a new school like that has the wherewithal. They just see the TV money. They see if we can just get into this, we'll pull in an extra $20 million a year or whatever it might be. Conference USA won't pay that much, but they see the dollar value. But it has never worked, and it won't work again. We were just talking about how much we enjoy the Big East because the Big East is only a basketball conference. That's the only thing those schools do. And while it's not 80,000 in the stands, it's 12,000 in the stands 20 times a year. And they're good at it, and they thrive. That environment makes them the money. This is one of the few instances where a basketball-only conference is the best thing for everybody in that basketball-only conference because that's why they went to that conference.
Do you know who played wide receiver at Georgetown back in the day? Like, Georgetown's like almost like Incarnate Word, like they're an FCS program. Do you know who played wide receiver for Georgetown? Famous person?
Like a athlete or an actor?
Not known as an athlete.
Oh, I don't know.
Jim Gaffigan was a wide receiver at Georgetown. That's kind of weird, right?
When they suck. Now I know why they don't have a football.
You look at Jim Gaffigan and go,
he's built like a lineman.
Well, he's this was in the 80s, so I'm sure.
That's like yesterday.
You probably looked a lot different in the 80s than you look now.
I look a lot like Jim Gaffigan in the 80s, sadly.
Oh, hard times. All right, let's hit a break. We'll come back and wrap up the second hour of the program. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1.
I hope you woke up this morning with nothing paining you, keeping you out of your life, because if you did, what are you doing? So many of us live with something that just bothers us to the point where we stop doing things. I'm talking about, you've got that sore knee, you've got a bad back, maybe it's plantar fasciitis, maybe you've got a bad shoulder, or maybe you rolled an ankle last week doing the weekend warrior stuff, or maybe it's something that has just bothered you for years and you just stopped doing stuff. If that's you, there's a fix out there. It's called a Rosti. And, your insurance might very well pay for that because a Rosti accepts most insurances. If you're living with something that is painful, you owe it to yourself to try something different, something new, because a Rosti is not like other medical professionals. They don't treat this pain with just pills over the counter or prescribed. They don't treat the pain with a long-term physical therapy program that includes surgery. They're going to endeavor to do their very best to have your body fix itself. And let me tell you, that works. Now, what is Arosty? It's a combination of a whole lot of different stuff. I don't know. I can just tell you I'm a proud patient and will be for the rest of my life. If you're dealing with lower back issues, there's no better fix than that. Those spasms can be fixed and taken away. You can be back in the game in half the time before. Listen close. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. There are Arosty providers all around San Antonio, open and ready to take care of you today, and you don't even need a referral. Walk in the door, let them take care of you, and before you know it, you're going to be walking on by thanking me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working that trouble spot on the northeast side of town on 35 northbound Judson Road. This crash is taking up 2 left lanes. Start moving over to your right side. It's a multi-vehicle accident. Looks like 4 vehicles involved in this crash. It's a 55-minute delay, almost an hour. Stop and go from Rittiman. So avoid the area if at all possible. Again, that's 35 northbound Judson Road. 1604 eastbound Nacogdoches. That's a stall left shoulder. And Wurzbach Parkway at Crosswinds. 2 right lanes blocked with that crash. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Guys, if you're not feeling like yourself, testosterone therapy may be the answer. Look for the VIP treatment you'll get with the experts at Synergenics Testosterone Weight Loss. Synergenics has over a decade of TRT experience. Book your appointment at synergenicshealth.com.
Hey guys, AJ from the Morning Huddle for SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house located at 281 in Bitters. They have tournaments going every day. I'm playing in a lot of those tournaments, and I'll make you a deal. You meet me on the tables, you knock me out of that tournament, we'll refund your entry for that day. All you got to do is take me out of the tournament, and you're going to get your money back. 281 in Bitters, great atmosphere, great dealers, great vibes at SA Card House, great food at Foster's Bar and Grill. Don't miss it. I will see you on the tables.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and I've represented folks here in San Antonio injured by negligent drivers for more than 30 years. If you or a family member has been seriously injured, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've heard from many of my clients that after they were involved in a collision, they would get phone calls asking them to hire an attorney. This is highly irregular and probably illegal. Any attorney that is trying to contact you either directly or through a marketing company is not the kind of attorney that you should trust with such a serious matter. Quite frankly, it's creepy. If you call me, we will speak directly. If you hire me, it will be after you and I have talked. I will explain what I can do for you, and you can decide what you would like me to do next. The phone call and the consultation are free. Getting a smart result requires that you make smart decisions along the way, and that's my job, to help you and your family make smart decisions, and that's based on more than 30 years of experience. If you've been injured in an accident, call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Let me ask you a question. Is your roof ready for anything? Well, Stevens Roofing, a locally owned company, has been serving our community for decades. Whether it's a commercial project or residential, or repairing your old roof, or maybe installing a new one, they've got you covered. And now Stevens offers solar. Stevens Solar Solutions can save you money and energy. Stevens Roofing, quality craftsmanship, solar solutions, and local expertise under one roof. Call 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Game Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
On Super Sunday, you could be the crunch time hero. PorkRinds.com is bringing you a game-changing twist to your big day because it's also Pork Rind Appreciation Day. The crispy, crunchy, crave-worthy snack you love deserves its moment. PorkRinds.com is celebrating by giving you a chance to win tickets to the 2026 big game in Santa Clara. Enter at PorkRinds.com and become your own crunch time hero. This Super Sunday, make sure your snack game is on point. Celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day. Get in on the action at PorkRinds.com.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
Nobody has seen a VHS player in 30 years.
You don't have one?
No.
Well, how in the world do you watch your video then?
Do you still have a DVD player at your house?
No.
You know what's weird? I still have DVDs.
What's on them?
Well, old movies.
Old movies, huh? Boom, chicka, wow, wow. That's how Debbie Does Dallas.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is Jason Minix, and you're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We talked a little bit about the expected hire for the Dallas Cowboys, at least according to that Dan Graziano. I wanted to kind of go through the other ones. Now, it's the other candidates it mentions for Jerry Jones. It says many around the league expect Jerry Jones to check in on college coaches. The names of Lincoln Riley, Steve Sarkisian, Marcus Freeman, Matt Campbell have been speculated, obviously, as well as Deion Sanders. But if you want to go with the guy,
was there one any of those group that even intrigues you? Because there is one in that group that kind of intrigues me.
No,
Marcus Freeman.
No, I haven't seen enough. I mean,
no, I don't think that. Campbell's been a usual suspect for 5-10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, his name's always gone, and rightfully so. I mean, he's been successful for a long time. But there's something about Freeman that strikes me as a pro coach.
Okay. I mean, it wouldn't shock me.
Maybe not now.
But he's got, to me, I think he's got sort of that Deion. I mean, maybe it's more of like a Tomlin. Like maybe he's more of, like, because he does strike me as like a leader.
Yeah.
Leader of men.
Yeah, he
a
does.
mover of men, as you like to say, which is a good term.
But I don't know if he's ready, and I don't think the college coach is the avenue right now. But there is something about Freeman where it's kind of like I want to keep an eye on him. Let's put a tack in Freeman and follow his career over the next year or two, and maybe he's going to be imminent to, I would say, migrate. I wouldn't say elevate his career because you're already at Notre Dame. But he's the one guy that I go, yeah. There's not enough. There's still enough out there that I don't know that makes him intriguing.
The Bears might have the largest list of candidates to go through there, at least of interviews that they've had. Known candidates: Pete Carroll, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Mike Kafka, David Shaw, Anthony Weaver, Drew Petzing, Arthur Smith, Matt Campbell, Ron Rivera, Cliff Kingsbury, Joe Brady, Brian Flores, Todd Monken, Thomas Brown, Marcus Freeman, and Mike McCarthy.
And, that's so many candidates. You'd be paralyzed by the options. They got to whittle that list down.
The prediction from Graziano is Brian Flores. Now, he does say there are hurdles for Flores, who appears, he says there are hurdles for Flores, who appears to be a strong candidate for the Jets job as well, to clear before any team can hire him. That's especially true in Chicago. There will be questions about his past relationship with quarterback Tua Tagovailoa as the Bears evaluate him as a candidate to shepherd Caleb Williams' development.
Mm-hmm.
But by all accounts, it sounds like Flores has made a very different impression on people in Minnesota than he did in Miami. He has been public about the reason things went wrong for him with the Dolphins and what he learned from that situation that would make things different at his next stop. And he and GM Ryan Poles both went to Boston College, so he notes that as
wait a minute. Ryan
Poles, yeah. The guy who drafted Caleb Williams, yeah.
Well, he is the biggest milquetoast general manager of them all. There's something soft about him that drives me crazy. So that lends it to he's got a little bit more cred there. The thing about Flores, I'm not sure. He would be the perfect hire in Chicago.
You think he would be?
Oh, he has the mentality of the Bear fan.
I like.
You know what I mean?
I told you. I think he's my favorite coach in this crop.
But they're so hamstrung by the fact they've got to take care of their investment there at quarterback. They got to prove his value. And I'm a believer that you don't hire. If you're a hot OC, there's a reason they're a hot OC is because they have a great relationship with their quarterback.
Yeah.
And they can be the good cop. They're the guy that quarterback goes to when the head coach is, wants to run the ball when they want to throw it. And they can bitch to their quarterback coach and their OC about the head coach because the head coach is the CEO. And the moment those guys leave the relationship with their quarterback and become head coaches, and then they get another dude in between them and their quarterback because they have to bring in an OC or a quarterback whisperer, they never are as successful. And when I look at offensive coordinators, I want scheme over development of a young quarterback. I want to see what the plays you're calling and the things you're doing, not how well you're working with Caleb, because you might not work well with my quarterback. You did a good job with that one.
Well, and I think the thing about, Chicago's an example of this. Jacksonville, who we'll talk about in a minute, is an example of this. The prime head coaching candidates, one of the more desirable things for a new head coach is to come in with a new GM.
Yes.
Because if you're coming in with the old GM and the old GM's players that he's married to, that means you're often stuck with them.
Right. The Dan Quinn syndrome with Zimmer this year. He had to adopt a brand new idea because all the Dan Quinn bodies he had to play with.
So you'd much rather come into a total clean sweep, fresh start, like in Vegas, where there's no GM, there's no head coach. We're going to hire both at the same time, and you guys are going to build this team together. That way, you're equally responsible at the end of the day. You don't want to be held equally responsible with the GM when you didn't have any say in it. You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you. And I'm also looking at, when I look at offensive coordinators, like the guy at Detroit.
Ben Johnson.
Phenomenal. But he's doing it with a seasoned quarterback. He didn't have to do anything with him. He's just showing me his system. His system is working because it's a system, and he's got a guy that's capable of executing it. But, nobody ever said Goff was stellar. He's just a great system quarterback.
Yeah.
Joe Brady has done it with, back in college, he's done it with what? We're now at 3 quarterbacks he's been really good with?
Well, obviously Burrow. I don't know that no, because he had when he was in Carolina, he didn't have much success.
Nobody had any success.
This has kind of reinvigorated his.
Well, I'm saying 2 quarterbacks now.
Yeah,
and very different styles of quarterbacks.
Right, but also 2 of the 5 best quarterbacks that walk the earth.
He worked well with 2 of them. So I give him credit. That's 2 different guys, 2 different attitudes, 2 different personalities that your offense has worked. So I give him more credit than the dude that got real good with one that had a system, but he showed up at the same time as a good young quarterback, and they grew together. That's why Kellen Moore initially, I was never sold on him. But now he's left Dallas. He's working with another quarterback. And while his quarterback is limited physically, limited talent-wise as far as the arm, he's created an offense that works pretty damn well. So Kellen Moore is a step up now in my book because now that's 3 quarterbacks he's worked with. He didn't hurt Herbert.
No.
He didn't grow him the way I thought he would.
Elevate him, but yeah.
But so that's 3 different quarterbacks that he has worked with and been successful with, and that's the kind of guy I want. His system works regardless of the dude, and those are the guys I chase. I don't like the one-hit wonder offensive coordinators that are suddenly really hot because this year's version, they got lightning in a bottle. Prove it to me over a couple of dudes.
Well, there's a bunch of those hot OCs listed as candidates for the Jacksonville
Kafka
Jags.
And all those. No, not those guys. They don't have enough. They don't have enough proof for me.
The Jags have their candidates include Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Robert Saleh, Steve Spagnuolo, Kellen Moore, Liam Cohen, Patrick Graham, Todd Monken, Brian Flores, but it says that his prediction is Joe Brady, the Bills OC.
Again, he's been successful with a couple of quarterbacks. He's got a young dude that's had to work with a bunch of different guys and different schemes. help me with him. And the Brady would be the perfect hire there because they've got to take care of the investment of their quarterbacks. So do whatever you can to fix that. Chicago's still in the early money stage. You know, they can still get out of this without being too.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's hard when you've given a guy a second contract. Jacksonville has given their guys.
So they got
Jacksonville and Dallas are in the same.
Yeah, they got to
boat.
find a dude, fix my problem.
Yeah.
But right now, I got to see where I am with this quarterback. So I like the idea of hiring Flores and going and getting an OC that might not be ready to head coach, but has worked with at least 2 other quarterbacks and has shown improvement from both.
Claymore, as he asked an interesting question, is Ben Johnson the next Sean McVay, or is he Brian Daboll, who was protected by Buffalo and Josh Allen?
We won't know until he's doing it.
Here's something I think it's really important to know about Brian Daboll, because in hindsight, it's easy to look at Brian Daboll and say, okay, Brian Daboll was only good because he had Josh Allen. But the important thing to remember is Josh Allen was not very good his first 2 years in Buffalo. Brian Daboll, Josh Allen got good with Brian Daboll. Now, you can now look at what Brian Daboll's done with the Giants and say, well, it didn't work. Well,
I don't blame him.
It could just be that Daniel Jones sucks.
Well, and he also takes Saquon away and decimate my offensive line. I don't blame him for that. The luster is gone. But
I think Brian Daboll's a good coach. I'm not going to besmirch his name. I think he is good.
I'm not hiring him as
he's Sean McVay.
No,
but
he could be, but no.
I'm guessing Ben Johnson is probably closer to Brian Daboll than Sean McVay. I think Sean McVay is like in the elite tier. I think Sean McVay is one of the 5 best coaches in football. So I'm not going to say a guy who's never coached an NFL as a head coach is going to be that. I think that's just it's too much to ask of him.
But I would before I hired Ben Johnson as a head coach, I'd give him a lot of money as an OC. In a salvage
and see
project
him do it
with Caleb or
Trevor Lawrence.
Yes, I'd give him a lot of money, almost as much as a head coach.
But the thing is,
I want to see you do it.
The thing is, he could have had that last year. He could have been a head coach last year, and he said, "No, I'm going to stick with what I got."
I love that. That makes him even more appealing to me. But
he's waiting for the perfect opportunity.
And I appreciate a man that has, tempers wisdom with diligence. You know, I'm not ready yet, but I also. He isn't ready yet. Dude, you're right. And I appreciate that.
Now, the Raiders, Aaron Glenn, Pete Carroll, Steve Spagnuolo, Todd Monken, Robert Saleh, and Ben Johnson.
Now, it's funny. I look at defensive coaches an entirely different way. I'll hire hot DC.
Yeah.
Right off the bench. Right, man, what you're doing, it works right now. I'll hire you right off the bat. I can take care of the other side of the ball.
Well, usually the defensive guys are more like the style of coach you seem to like, which are those motivators,
CEOs.
They're more of a grab you by the face mask in your face. OCs are usually if you said what's the typical offensive coordinator in the NFL look like, I would say he looks like the coach of the Dolphins, Mike McDaniel.
Exactly.
He looks like a nerd who's got a play sheet and is he's just that's what he's into Legos and stuff.
Exactly. I want you to handle the little stuff. I'm in here to kick ass and take names, and if you need me to back off, I will. But you handle the building, and until you have a problem, I'm not going to bother you.
It says the Raiders. His expectation or his prediction is that Ben Johnson will be the head coach of the Raiders, and he says that, and he actually mentions that first of all, Tom Brady has some sway. And Tom Brady saying, hey, I want you to come be the coach of the football team that I am an owner in. Obviously, you have a big, shiny new stadium. You're in Vegas. You're good. And if the Raiders can ever get good, the Raiders will become a destination job
they'll
again.
Stay good if they can get good.
When they were in Oakland, even if they got really good, the stadium was such a dump. It was in such a bad part of town that
they were third on the agenda.
Yeah,
they were never
it was you're so limited in what you can really become. In Vegas, there's no cap on what the Raiders could be. You've got Tom Brady as an owner. You've got one of the best stadiums in the world. You've got all the things that are going to make players. You don't think players in free agency, if they're deciding, do I want to play in Green Bay or Vegas,
where there's no state tax and it's Vegas.
These players want to come play in Vegas if they can. It has potential to be a good job. Someone's got to make it a good job though, and they've been so inept at hiring coaches that it's what are you going to do? That now the downside to the Raiders' job right now is, which isn't the worst thing, is they don't have a quarterback. we were talking before the show, the worst thing, like you would think the worst thing to have in the NFL is no quarterback. I don't think it is. I think the worst thing you can have is a well-paid quarterback that isn't good, that you thought like a Deshaun Watson, and knock on wood, I don't know if he's going to become this, but what Dak Prescott could become. What you don't want is an albatross contract at quarterback. That is very hard to work around. Not having a quarterback at all, there's a lot of fixes to that.
Well,
there's temporary fixes, and you obviously the Raiders are drafting high enough they can shoot a shot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But what happens is you get caught in the Gardner Minshew Fitzmagic circle,
And they've been in that,
where they win just enough to where you don't get the picks. You know, suddenly Gardner Minshew shows up and you win 3 games. You're like, dude, we didn't want to win those. In the grand scheme, it was fun. But dude, we just placed out of a quarterback because this idiot showed up and he's making a name for himself. So. Yeah, I get that you can find a bridge, but you need to suck balls, at some point to go get the guy you're chasing, or have somebody else suck balls that just is picking right in front of you who doesn't know how to pick, like Houston.
Yeah, and the Raiders have the 6th pick this year, so I don't know if they're going to find that franchise guy this year, but there's going to be guys like Sam Darnold who at least can bridge you to something else. We'll go through the rest of these coaches on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
Try Round Table Pizza's new pepperoni, grilled chicken, and bacon pizza. And don't forget to pair it with our irresistible shareables, mozzarella sticks, jalapeno poppers, or golden potato wedges. The perfect bite to complement your meal. Find the nearest location or order delivery at roundtablepizza.com.
Now at North Park Chevrolet, buy a new 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab, posted at $34,999. Lease for $370 a month with 0 down. Get 3.9% financing for 75 months on new 2025 Silverado Crew Cab Texas editions, and save $10,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Silverado heavy-duty trucks. Together, let's drive at North Park Chevrolet, 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville, or at npchevy.com. Must qualify for financing offers. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure, dewy skin.
Terrific. Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare.
Wow. With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The King of Paddle, a premier pickleball and paddle club in downtown San Antonio, is now open. And we're taking the Blitz live tomorrow from 2 to 6. State-of-the-art indoor courts, vibrant atmosphere in one location. Located at 314 Nolan Street. Join us at the King of Paddle tomorrow.
George gets justice. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, we are the ones you can trust. With over 100 years of combined experience, we are committed to helping people in our local community. Get George Salinas Injury Lawyers and put our experience to work for you and your case. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George Gets Justice. GetGeorge.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love. My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Our heaviest delay right now is going to be on the northeast side of town on 35, northbound in Judson Road. Major accident here, multi-vehicle crash taking up 2 left lanes. 40-minute delay now. That backup starts at Loop 410, and it's also impacting traffic on 35 northbound from Eisenhower. So Randolph Boulevard, still a good alternate route. 410 northbound Ray Ellison, this wreck is blocking 1 lane. 7-8-minute delay has you so from Old Pearsall Road. And on Wurzbach Parkway at Crosswinds, get reports of a wreck. 2 right lanes blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The Spurs return to action tonight at 500, sitting at 19-19, welcoming in the third in the West, Memphis Grizzlies. Tip will be at 7 o'clock at the Frost Center. The Dallas Cowboys continue their search for a head coach as Mike McCarthy is already getting looks around the league. He's scheduled to meet with the Chicago Bears today for an interview. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Synergenicshealth.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
8 o'clock, halfway there. Living on a prayer. Morning Huddle 94. Oh, halfway there on hump day, too.
Wow, we're truly halfway.
Yeah,
wow.
Baby. Yeah, baby.
Downhill from here on.
Yeah. How's your sweet tea this morning?
I don't drink sweet tea anymore.
Oh, that's unsweet?
I have gone to the brown bottle. One of those things that happened on the New Year's.
Does it bum you out?
No. The Gold Peak sweet, it was not my favorite. It wasn't the Red Diamond. Red Diamond sweet tea.
God, that Red Diamond got so much sugar in it.
Actually, it's less sweet than the Gold Peak.
Oh, really?
Which doesn't mean it's not sweet. It's just less sweet.
Yeah, I have
sweet.
to do half and half tea now.
Oh no, I get it. My Red Diamond, I do a little bit of Arnie Palmy action. Okay. Lemonade, little sweet tea.
Okay.
Makes my day.
So you only drink sweet tea at home now?
Pretty much.
And how much do you
I'm down to 2. My wife will buy 2 gallons
a week,
and that's all I get.
Okay.
It's I've limited myself to that. So
that you realize that's still like
it's a lot. I get it.
That's like eating 10 Butterfingers in a week.
Yeah. But if you space it out, I think I did the math, and
I don't know that there's any appropriate way to space out 10 Butterfingers in a week. Like,
well, no, if you ask Dr. Torres, he's not happy with it. But if you balance that off with a couple more steps,
well, you do a lot of walking.
I do a fair amount, but no, that is my one complete.
That's your weak spot.
It is absolutely it. The taste of a Red Diamond sweet tea and my Yeti.
Mine?
It's like home, baby.
Booze.
Mine is the flavor. Mexican Coke out of the bottle.
That's
the
other
glass
good
bottle.
That is good.
Because you can drink that and then kill someone with the bottle after.
Yes, you can.
That's true. Or use it in a sex act.
What? which we will talk about
later on.
In the popular non-sports story.
Later on. Claymore says tight pants and skinny jeans, shows his ankles. Mike McDaniel's typical modern-day OC. That's him.
That's him.
That is him.
Shows his ankles.
Yeah.
I don't want to see any Mike McDaniel ankle.
Mike
ever.
McDaniel smoking weed on the sideline, hitting
might
his
as well.
vape pen.
Well, there was a time when he
He
was the
was.
OC at the 49ers.
they-
he said he would never coach anywhere that didn't have legal weed. He said that.
There was one where he'll hold his play sheet up and he acts like he's talking into his microphone,
And
then a cloud of smoke comes up, and he's like,
"Timeout."
All right, let's call a play.
Timeout.
I mean, that's a guy who really grew up learning football from Madden.
Right? Is he sitting down on the bench playing?
If I was you, I'd
Almost all of my play calling in Madden
Cover
came
two.
while smoking weed.
Cover 2.
That's right. I cut my teeth getting
wanna
high
talk
with
about
Madden, too.
Hit stick. I got your hit stick.
Pass the hit stick,
Pass
friend.
the hit stick. It was a stupid keystroke anyway. It was dumb. Remember the hit stick?
Oh, yeah.
That was dumb.
Yeah, but that was, I mean, you could cause some fumbles with that.
Yeah,
That was a
you
big
could.
turnover maker. But the hit stick was also invented. You would know better than me, but I think it was invented the same year as the juke stick.
Exactly.
So if you pressed up on the stick, it would be the hit stick. If you press side, if you were on defense, if you were on offense, side to side with juke,
you would blow a tackle quicker.
If you could, if he hit stick
just
and you
jumped
juked,
out of the way.
Goodbye.
You just jumped out of the way, dude.
Yeah,
Yes, I
goodbye,
did.
friend. But people forgot how to regular tackle. They only wanted to use the hit stick. So you got to be responsible with those things. You can't overdo the hit stick.
See, kids.
But that's
All
not
things in
what kids
moderation.
want to do. Kids want to blow you up. They want to get the turnover. Me, I'm just looking to hold you to 4 yards.
Just mind your hit stick. That's all.
Hold
I'm
you to
saying.
4 yards, man. And if you want to go for it on fourth down, bro, go for it, man.
Well, I never punted.
Well,
Never.
I was beating you.
No, you weren't.
All right. I had a thing. I had a pretty good. I had a pretty good play call if it was 4th and 2 or less.
What year and what team?
I was when I went to the year, I forget what year it was. The year they were going to play the finals in Times Square. I was like one of the last 32 people.
That was long before I was there.
So this was we're talking like 2003 or 4.
Yeah.
But I used the Tennessee Titans, and that was the McNair, Eddie George, and Frank Wycheck.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a route that I could use on 4th and 2 where I forget who the wide receiver was, but he did a go route, and Wycheck looked like when they started, it looked like you're going all fours, like you're going to try and go deep. But that the tight end would cut off and immediately go to the sideline, and you could hit that route 99 times out of 100. It was only good for about 2 or 3 yards.
Right.
But on 4th and 2, that's what I was running every time. And the way that it lined up was looked like a real tight formation with just 2 wide receivers, and it looks like you're going to run. And with McNair, like everybody was worried because McNair could bulldoze a little bit, and I'd hit him with that was my 4th down. But if it was like 4th and 4, I'm punting because I was playing safe. I was a lot better on defense than I was on offense in Madden.
Me too.
A lot better on defense. I was a defensive coordinator on Madden. All
and
right?
see, that when you're talking about that, you knew that if you got into 4th and 2, and I guess you could apply that to the NFL with the tush push, that truly there is a play that has been gamed, that there is a glitch in the NFL, that 4th and 2 in Philadelphia means first down, that you just can't stop it. That's why to make this full circle, that TGL league last night with all the golfers, I just feel like there's a glitch in the game that I don't care who it is, knows that if I hit it this part of the screen out of the sand, no matter what, it's going to land 3 feet from the hole. No matter what, because that's the glitch, and I figured it out. That's why I don't really appreciate, or at least think I won't appreciate what's going on with that video golf league.
All right, back to the coaching, Rob. It says if the Raiders can't get Johnson, keep an eye on Pete Carroll.
Which, I'd heard that before, and it's not a bad idea.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah,
if you can't get the hot young thing, dude, Pete Carroll would be.
Yeah, put an adult in the room. Put somebody that has actually won a couple of football games in a row and go out there and at least get the thing pointed in the right direction while you continue to search. Because Pete Carroll ain't coming to work for you for the next 5 years. He knows that. He's there to have a good time, get this thing in the right direction, and in 3 years part ways and, carry on and finish out.
New Orleans, I don't know how good of a job New Orleans is. New Orleans has some cap issues, but what they do have is, I think, a solid quarterback for the money when he's healthy.
See, that second half is what gets you fired.
Yeah.
I mean, that first half is what gets you there. The second half is what gets you fired. You can't rely on that, man. If they're injury prone now, they're going to be injury prone later. They just are. So you have to come into that gig knowing, I got to have a backup quarterback at the very least, and I have to have the next quarterback in the room when we draft, or at least the next prospect for a quarterback if I'm taking this job.
Gilbert says, I ran all 4 Hail Mary every play, called my routes from the line, shifted the blockers every play, never ran the ball. That works in rec league.
Yeah, you're not
when you're in the big time, it don't work.
Come play me, man.
I'll take the ball from you every time. Every
you'll
time.
Score, but you'll get a couple of buckets. I'll give it to you.
But I'm
gonna beat you.
I'm gonna be the safety, and I'm gonna guess right about 1 out of every 3, and I'm gonna take it away.
That 08 Tampa 2, you weren't throwing on me, baby. It wasn't happening.
You're right. It's scary. It's a scary job, but. Again, if you look at the Saints when Carr was healthy this year, the Saints were very good.
Dude, as far as the program, the team, the environment, it's a great job. Ask Sean Payton. It's a great job. And you have an owner that'll stay out of your way for the most part, is more than willing to spend the money, and will bring in characters of questionable, to win. And I kind of want all of that on my franchise. I wish I was a Saints fan because they're never terrible. I mean, not anymore.
Dennis Allen coached 2.5 seasons in New Orleans and went 18-25. And on the surface, you might go, well, that's horrible. But you have to remember, Dennis Allen was the dumbest coach in the NFL. He might have literally been the worst coach in the NFL, and he went 18-25 with that.
And here's my problem, though, because I respect Mickey Loomis. I think he's a pretty good GM. For the most part. I think he's got a little Jerry Jones in him, gets a little bit too involved. But for the most part, I think Loomis is a good GM. And I questioned that hire from the beginning. I didn't get that one. That was a shadow of Sean Payton. I mean, but the problem was there was still Payton's shadow there, and there wasn't enough change. I thought that was too safe of a hire for Loomis. So I for him to make the right hire next, we'll put him back on the upper echelon of GMs because I do think he's got a great eye for talent. He's one of the better guys out there.
Clay Moore says 72-year-old Pete Carroll, nah, which is true. There is, I think Romeo Crennel was the oldest head coach ever at 73, 74.
It would be, the hire would be for the same reason the Texans hired, that Crennel had a gig. This would be the same reason you hire Pete Carroll for some stability, an adult in the room, but the outcome would be very different.
Yeah, it's not the long-term hire.
Yeah, and I don't know what Crennel believed, but Carroll would know.
But Pete Carroll's 72. Bruce Arians was 68 when he won a Super Bowl. Pete Carroll's a lot better coach than Bruce Arians, and also, quite frankly, gives off a younger vibe than Bruce Arians
I would have no problem with it, but I do
Although Bruce Arians would wear that Kangol hat to try to make himself seem young. Kangol hats always make you seem old to me. Like, I don't care how old you are. You put on a Kangol, you look older. Like, there's no – that never makes you younger.
Well, back in the 80s, you turned it around, went backwards, and then you looked young, right?
Well, Bruce Arians tried that too.
Didn't work.
Yeah, that's a tough look for white guys too.
How's Bruce doing, by the way?
I don't know. I haven't heard from him in a while.
How Arians is doing. If the Raiders can get one coach that knows what he's doing, because Gruden had him kind of headed in the right direction, despite Mike Mayock, who I think is just an idiot. But he was a guy who had been there and done that, and an adult in the room. That's where they're going to have to go. They don't need for the Raiders, they need a low-key dude like a Tomlin that's just going to go to work. I'm not going to worry about glitz glamour. I'm going to have a program that will sell itself if we win games. I don't have to do much.
Yeah.
As the coach, just get an 8-8 program and the talent will come.
Graziano's prediction for the Saints is Aaron Glenn.
Great get.
I think so
he would
too.
fit the environment. He would fit the attitude. He's from the region. He's an East Texas kid. Be ideal.
Now, the Jets are the last job, and it's very similar to Chicago. They seem to be interviewing literally everyone. Like if you're available, they want to talk to you. Aaron Glenn, Steve Spagnuolo, Matt Nagy, Rex Ryan, Ron Rivera, Mike Loxley, Darren Rizzi, Jeff Ulbrich, Joe Brady, Josh McCown, Brian Flores, Brian Greasy, Vance Joseph, Bobby Slowick. Their prediction, though, I can't even believe that this is like a thing. Arthur Smith, the OC of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Arthur Smith. What?
The former Atlanta Falcon.
Like Atlanta's already gotten better since he was fired, Arthur Smith? What did Pittsburgh's offense do this year that makes you go, man, we should go get Arthur Smith?
I didn't know that Woody Johnson was so obtrusive. I didn't realize he was a Jerry Jones light. I just thought he was I thought he was just kind of an absentee landlord that didn't really care. But it turns out that he is a low-rent Jerry Jones.
I mean, I guess like you could say in Pittsburgh, it was you made a respectable meal with a bunch of rotten groceries because you don't have any good players on that offense, and you weren't the worst.
Of that list, you picked the guy not outside that list, on that list that you would hire.
Well, I mean, Brian Flores is the first guy I would try to hire.
Okay.
If it's not him, it would probably be like I think I would want like an Aaron Glenn type. Maybe Steve Spagnuolo he might not be totally washed out. Josh McCown being on that list is interesting. I was hearing Johnny Manziel talk about him, about how he really had no idea how to be a professional quarterback until Josh McCown walked in the room and said, "I'm going to show you how to do everything." He's like, "You can do things. You're capable of doing things that I'm not,
but you don't know how to be.
You have no idea what you're doing." And he would McCown would tell him look, I can't do it, but you can do this. This is what you need to do here. Mm-hmm. And Johnny was like, oh, now I couldn't save Johnny from being a dope.
Right.
But no, I get Josh McCown it seems like he's built to be a coach.
That is the best story you can tell me if I'm hiring a coach.
Yeah.
He was coaching when he wasn't even a coach. That's the kind of stuff I want to hear. I'll tell you, this is crazy. But for me, the best thing that the Jets could do right now is stick a pin in it and let things die down. I'd hire Ryan. I'm not kidding. I'd hire him on a 3-year deal.
What?
Knowing full well, dude, I'm about to blow this thing up. It's going to get bad before it gets better.
Dude, I don't think you can.
He won with Mark Sanchez. He won with the butt fumble. He's the only guy that understands how to win in New York. And I'm not saying he's a great coach, but he was a good coach in New York. And right now, that list of who's, that list is who you think is going to save you? No. You need to do like the Raiders. Find somebody and let things die down and throw a hand grenade in the room, knowing full well it's going to blow up the coach too, because this is going nowhere. Nowhere.
So the Rex Ryan went to the AFC Championship with Mark Sanchez in 2009 and 2010. They went 9-7 and 11-5 those years. Went to the AFC Championship and lost.
It's a different league now.
Strong.
It's a different league. But
after that, 8-8, 6-10, 8-8, 4-12, fired, goes to Buffalo, 8-8, 7-8, fired. He's just not I don't think he's a special. I don't think there's anything to him.
No, this ain't about special. Look at the dudes that are interviewing for this job. There's no guys of merit lining up here.
But
they know this is going to get so much worse before it gets better.
You have to realize, and this was maybe the most embarrassing year for a franchise that's constantly getting its pants pulled down in the lunchroom.
Yes.
This might have been the most, imagine every day is embarrassing, but then you're it's really embarrassing. Your whole life is embarrassing, and then your schoolmates find out that your mom has an OnlyFans. It's that level of embarrassing.
Yes.
Oh my God.
But
really?
the last time they were worth anything was when he was in the building, and that buys you a little bit of time. There's some Ryan fans with the Jets. Good, bad, or indifferent, there are. I'm not saying he's the long-term answer, but right now, I got to find a way to get something for Garrett Wilson because he wants out. So I've got some value that I can play with. I got to completely retool this thing and keep my fans happy. And the one thing I do know is there's a little bit of talent on that defense, and Ryan will coach that defense up. He will. That defense will get better. I know that. And that'll keep me in while I go figure out where the hell I'm going next. You think that go get a dude that knows he's got a ticking clock behind him.
Yeah, Arthur Smith is not the answer.
There's not a single answer on that list. Now, if you can go get Brian Flores, that's a whole other thing. But Brian Flores ain't taking that job.
I don't know. I think he consider it. I think a guy like Bobby Slowick or Josh McCown, who
it's spaghetti on the wall. It might work. It might. But
But with Rex Ryan, I know it won't work.
Well, I know it won't work, and I'm doing it on purpose. I'm bringing him in for it not to work. What was the coach for the Texans that
David Culley?
He is my David Culley.
You knew it was going to but the difference was the Texans roster was so bereft of talent that
and the Jets are full of it.
I mean, the Jets have some decent guys.
Ferguson and they got
Quinnen Williams. They've got some pieces like that.
Brees Hall. Yeah, there's a little bit there. Enough to. I don't know. I think the Jets are in the worst situation imaginable.
No, but again, because they don't have an overpaid quarterback.
Well, no, but they got no access to anything anytime soon.
Yeah.
Their starting quarterback will be. It'll be a guy that we know.
I don't. It might be Sam Darnold. Quite frankly,
that's what I'm saying. It'll be a guy that we know that's going to be paid to be better than he is, and will end up being run out of town. If I was an agent to Sam Darnold, I'd say, I'm going to tell you the future, man. You're going to get paid. You're going to be moderately successful, but at the end of the day, you're going to be done.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be surrounded with inadequate talent. You're not going to have an offensive line, and they're going to be doing everything they can to get ready for the future, which means there will be no continuity. They're going to be rolling through dudes. You're going to get paid, but it'll be the last paycheck you get. Do you want that one?
And the Jets picking 7th in the draft. I think their win in week 18 moved them from 4th to 7th. So
that is the least entertaining job, the least likely job to want, but it could be the most fun job you'd ever had.
Would you rather coach the Jets or the Jags?
The Jets.
See, I think the Jags is the worst job.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if Trevor Lawrence is even I think what Trevor Lawrence is a league average quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And you have paid Trevor Lawrence like he's a top 5 quarterback. That's a nightmare because league average quarterbacks don't get you to the Super Bowl ever.
No, and the coach that takes the Jaguars job, if I'm hiring him, and probably won't be asked the right questions, is what are we going to do to replace Trevor? That's what's coming next, because the next 2 years, I know you're hamstrung, dude. I know what you're stuck with. But so we got to start thinking 2 years from now, and how can we help ourselves a little today and a lot tomorrow? Because that's why I'm hiring you. Because I know as a football guy that as it stands, Trevor cannot win a Super Bowl and might not ever even win a playoff game. So I got to start looking toward the future, knowing full well I'm stuck with this cat for 2 years, and you still got to win some games.
I think the thing is you have to decide, do I know Trevor Lawrence isn't going to be our franchise quarterback?
I know it. And if you don't say you know it, you're denying the fact.
How far away then, you know what, I'm going to ask you a follow-up question to that on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I got to tell you guys about SA Card House. I was there last night. I did not win the tournament last night. $10,000 guaranteed tournament last night. I thought maybe I'd go in there and test my luck, and I got caught with my hand in the cookie jar last night. It'll happen. But guess what? The person who knocked me out, they got their money back, their entry money back, because that's all you got to do. When you find me out there at the tables, you knock me out of a tournament, and they will refund your entry fee just like that, friends. So make sure you get out there and try that out. Try your luck against me, Bubba. They call me the Doyle Brunson of SA Card House. I don't want to brag, but they do call me that sometimes. No one has, but they probably think it every once in a while. But SA Card House, premier card house in San Antonio, 281 in Bitters. If you haven't been by, you need to go check it out. Best vibes in the city. I as someone who was living in Vegas, playing in scummy poker rooms, smoky and dirty, and no one ugh. This place is a breath of fresh air. It's so nice. All the people there are good. The dealers are good. And the food is out of this world, friends. Out of this world. So if you're looking for a place to start throwing the cards around, give SA Card House a try, and I will see you on the tables.
South Texas, get ready for the ultimate sports talk experience. The one and only Rich Eisen is on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. With over 20 years of NFL experience, Rich Eisen brings breaking stories, expert analysis, and exclusive interviews with sports legends to your airwaves with unmatched wit, insight, and passion. Catch all the action every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show, only on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and I've represented folks here in San Antonio injured by negligent drivers for more than 30 years. If you or a family member has been seriously injured, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've heard from many of my clients that after they were involved in a collision, they would get phone calls asking them to hire an attorney. This is highly irregular and probably illegal. Any attorney that is trying to contact you either directly or through a marketing company is not the kind of attorney that you should trust with such a serious matter. Quite frankly, it's creepy. If you call me, we will speak directly. If you hire me, it will be after you and I have talked. I will explain what I can do for you, and you can decide what you would like me to do next. The phone call and the consultation are free. Getting a smart result requires that you make smart decisions along the way, and that's my job, to help you and your family make smart decisions, and that's based on more than 30 years of experience. If you've been injured in an accident, call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now's the time to shop limited-time doorbuster deals during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Save $50 on a Little Giant King Combo 6-foot ladder. Was $199, now $149. Plus, save $100 on a DeWalt XR 20-volt Power Stack 5 amp-hour battery. Was $199, now $99. Get these can't-miss deals now before they're gone. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Doorbusters valid 113 through 115. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the search for a new Cowboys head coach continues.
RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com has his Cowboys coaching tracker up to date. We'll get the latest.
And the Spurs make it back home. They'll take on the Memphis Grizzlies. We'll talk about that.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle 94.1. Bringing you in with a little Rush. Little lover boy here.
Little lover boy, a little Canadian rock.
Little golden earring for you.
Saga.
Metallica wishes.
I listened to that band.
Yeah, Saga.
On the way home, I listened to a Saga. So I was like, this band sucks.
The loose.
It was just the one song, though. That was all they had.
Band. How did they
Great video.
No wonder I'd never heard of them. They stink.
That was the first, I guess you could say, thing that I had to buy the whole tape just for the one song.
You buy that tape, and you're like, the rest of this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, man.
That was the first time.
That's the one where you're like, man, I wish they would have made a single.
Or I'd have gone to Hog Wild and listened to the whole thing first.
It was Platters that was in Windsor Mall.
Platters, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
They had one listening booth.
Yeah, they did. They used to have all of that.
So you would just go in and you'd listen to the whole thing?
You could listen to it, yeah. Decide whether you wanted to buy it or not.
Huh.
Yeah.
That was before you could sample.
Yeah.
Before you heard anything. You just knew the record was out and you might hear the radio version.
Yeah, at Tower, like they had the new releases. There'd be like whatever the 10 biggest things were at the time.
Yeah.
And they had like 6 sets of headphones and you could push the button of the one you wanted to hear and they'd be like, oh, okay.
And then everybody goes home with lice.
Stacked around like this. Yeah.
Everybody goes home with head lice.
Yeah, probably so.
And a new album.
Well, and the guy, the clientele, a lot of the guys that would be at the Tower Records would be like the patchouli type hippie folks, and they're not always the cleanest.
No.
That patchouli's covering up the smell of the fact that you haven't washed your hair in 8 months, and that's why.
But I appreciate the culturally appropriated dreads you've got.
Yes, yeah. When you've got those like real thick matted dreads and you're a white guy,
yeah,
I don't like that.
No.
I'm against it.
I'm pretty sure you haven't showered recently.
Yeah. I question your hygiene. But I mean, hey, listen.
But he probably got good weed.
Oh, hell yeah,
probably got
hell yeah.
So,
probably some mushrooms
so
too.
He's got a variety of things in that weird little crafted handbag over your shoulder.
Yeah, I'll
a little sling bag that you're carrying around there. Hero.
I've noticed that a lot more. People wearing men wearing the man bags.
Well, it's I get it. I like it. And if I could find an appropriate European Merce man bag, I'd be down with that. But
what's appropriate?
I don't know. I haven't yet found it. But I feel like if I had something other than a backpack that I could just carry everything in one,
well,
like a purse.
Often they look like the tiny backpacks.
Those little ones that sling over the side that could have a pistol in it, but probably just has your AirPods and some Carmex.
Your ID, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The one that has like the shoulder strap.
Yeah.
I see a lot of those now, and I'm not going to do that.
I saw a guy, Rob got me this.
See, that's kind of where I'm at.
For
not too
Christmas.
big, not too small.
But like, I've seen a lot of people who have bags that are about like
half the size.
Yeah, about half the size.
And they're in the front.
And they've got one sling and they wear it in the front.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're
like an elevated fanny pack.
Yeah.
There you go.
I find it odd.
It is.
I find it odd, but a lot of guys wear, and they're like, I see a bunch of these Louis Vuitton, so these guys are paying like thousands of dollars for this man purse. Yeah. And I don't know that I could pull it off.
Well, I think
there's a certain type of man who can probably pull it off. I
Probably
don't think
doesn't
I'm
have-
him.
The guy that can pull it
It's not a
off.
fat bald guy. I can tell you that.
No, well, the guy that can pull it off has no-show socks and is wearing loafers.
Probably so.
See, I'm not that guy.
Well, I mean, I think my brother could pull it off. Like my brother has the curly mustache and like slick hair and like, I think he could do it. I can't.
I forget where I was, but it was. I'm trying to remember it was a basketball player. Scary Terry for the Charlotte Hornets. He was with Boston.
Terry Rozier?
Yeah, Terry Rozier. I was out at a shoe store in New York, and Rozier pulled in, and he was there with his crew, and they're buying shoes. We were at Kith, and he was in line to buy, and he had like 8 boxes of shoes, and he had the same thing, the LV thing, and he unzipped his little box thing, his little bag, and pulled out a stack of hundreds.
Yeah.
So if I had the LV, I'd have to have a brick of the hundreds. Like he just pulled out
few
like
of 'em.
cash. Like,
that was
it
the guy.
Was still wrapped.
I saw a guy at SA Card House last night. Like that's what he was. That's how he carried his money. Like
he was right in front of me, and I saw him pull it out, and he pulled out like $1,000 or so in crisp hundreds, and he had it all like right on his chest. And he was counting it right there, and I thought, if I was going to do that, that's the only way to do it. That's the only way I would do it is if I had that chest packed, and I'd need about 10 grand in hundreds, right there. Just
I just don't carry that much cash.
No, I just go with the black Amex. Just throw that thing down.
Exactly.
Cash. Shoot, I'll just buy this store.
That's Rob. Meanwhile, he's lecturing me about buying some football cards. It's not a good investment. Not a good investment. You need to get a CD.
You can get a 10-month CD at 4.5. I don't know what you're playing with. I don't know what you're doing. I'm such an old man now. Like, yeah, in all seriousness, you can go 10 months. 4.5, maybe.
Rin says he has a bag because sometimes I wear pants with no pockets.
What? What kind of pants are you wearing without pockets? What are you wearing? Sweats?
That's what I don't know. I don't
Sweats
own.
have pockets?
I don't own pants without pockets.
I don't, unless they're like lady pants.
And if I got pants that didn't have pockets, I'd return them.
Exactly.
I need pockets.
Can you imagine putting on a pair of pants with no pockets? I mean, sweats, I get it, but even the sweats I buy have pockets.
I would be frustrated.
I'd need a bag. I'd need like a little.
That's what Rin says. He's got a bag. That's why he wears a bag. It's just not for me.
What's in your bag?
I'm guessing his phone, wallet, keys.
But I need my phone. It wouldn't be in the bag.
Well, I mean, do you always walk with your phone in your hand?
I walk with my phone in my hand in case I'm jacked.
See,
if somebody comes at me from behind, they're going to jack me. I've got my phone in my hand.
I walk with my phone in my back pocket.
No, mine's too. This stupid fold phone's too heavy. It pull my pants down.
Yeah.
So I end up walking around with it. But boy, I wouldn't want to get hit with this thing. I'll take you.
Do you ever put it in your front pocket? Because you wear a lot of.
I do every now and again, but it's so heavy. No, I don't like it. See, it's in my hand. I'm Ari Fleischer.
Yeah, I don't.
Ari always had his phone in his hand. Always.
Yeah, but how? I mean, yet somehow you're always losing your phone
because it's always in my hand and not in a pocket.
And your wallet too.
Yeah. That's why I would need the purse like strapped around me, because if I had a purse, I'd lay it down and leave it.
Rin says phone, wallet, keys. John says only women wear pants without pockets.
That's what I was going to say. But
Rin said he's a man and he does it. So you guys just have to fight that out. I don't know.
It's a different time.
Shopping in a different store.
Rin shops at the Mike McDaniel fashion store.
Those fake 1980s Zubaz pants now. They're a little skinnier. The ones that used to look like they're super baggy, that they're kind of halfway there now. Yeah, that's a good look for you. Those are no pockets in those.
And my son is a tall kid, and he wears those first of all, he wears tall white socks.
Yeah, that's the millennial thing. I hate
with everything.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh, okay.
He also and I'm talking about he'll wear white socks with Crocs. Mm-hmm. He'll wear them with sneakers, whatever he's wearing. Okay. He has a pair of Birkenstocks. He wears white socks with them.
Yeah, they all the
major foul.
The millennials and Z's and all that. They all want to look like they're German. They all look like German tourists.
And we got him some jeans for Christmas, and he wanted to return them. They were too long. He said, and I said, too long? Like they go down to your shoes. And he's like, yeah, I like them to be.
I want to see my ankle.
Yeah, I like them to be a little up on my calf. I was like,
he's a little hipster.
Oh yeah, see, when I was that age, I'd come down and my dad would be like,
"Does he have a ponytail?"
No.
A man bun, the samurai.
No, I don't think.
No, he doesn't. No,
AJ wouldn't allow that.
No, listen, my kids have goofy ass hair. They do what they want with it. But my young son had a full blown mullet for 3 years.
Respect.
Looked like Joe Dirt.
That's what I want.
I mean, so I'm not going to tell him if that's what he wants to do. But no, he doesn't have a ponytail. Yeah, it's just I don't get the young kids fashion these days. I'm an old man.
You can conceal carry. Every time I see that, I figure there's a weapon in there.
And there's no you don't have to have a license anymore to carry.
No,
not here.
This is America.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Someone beat on my door the other day.
I'm shooting.
Again?
I'm just pulling the trigger.
It's just been going on.
Where do you live?
Pull the trigger.
I live in the hood.
He lives in the ghettos of Stone Oak.
I live right around you, man.
The hard streets of Stone Oak.
In Flea Bottom?
Yeah.
Flea Bottom.
I live in... They just, throw poop in the street.
Where do you live?
Everything.
Flea Bottom is just outside of Flatonia.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Flea bottom.
I live in a real hard part of San Antonio. Yeah. I don't want to give away exactly where I'm at because I don't want people to come steal my car and stuff.
But shadows of Stone Oak.
The south side of Stone Oak.
I
live on the south side.
Yeah, man.
I live almost to 1604, man. I'm south.
It's pretty hard. Yeah. I mean, it's right next to a brand new Chick-fil-A, so that's how you know it's in like the real ghetto. But yeah, twice now in the last couple weeks, someone's knocked on my door like very aggressively. And been at the wrong apartment.
Dude, I tried to get into your neighbor's house twice.
And
I've done twice. I've pressed the code in his neighbor's apartment, gone to the wrong one.
Is it the goth neighbor?
No. The big fat lady that loves Jack Skellington. No. Yeah. The first time it was a tiny gay man, and I had just got
how tiny,
like
3 feet.
No, like Minnick's height, like Don't say that's not tiny. That is tiny. Like, we're just used to it because Minix is around all the time. But let's face it, Minix is a tiny person. Like, he's not a... Why is that funny? Like,
well, because he
How tall do you think Minix is?
5'6",
6, 7.
Yeah, he's a tiny guy.
Little pocket Minix.
Yeah. I mean, he's not petite because he's not, like, slim. But this guy...
he's average. Yeah.
This guy was, like, 5'5", 5'6", and very slender.
Oh, very skinny? Okay.
Yeah, and I knew he was 5'6" because my wife said when my wife met Minix in D.C., Jason had said that he was 5'7", and my wife is 5'7", and she was like,
"No, you're not."
Oh no, here we go.
She was like,
"No, you're not."
Yeah, Jason told me he's 5'7", and he was like looking up at me, telling me that. I'm like, okay.
Minus,
but yeah. So there's this little tiny guy beating on my door, and I was getting in the shower, and it was such an aggressive, like they're knocking on the door like you're the cops, and I'm like, what the hell? So I pull on my jeans.
Didn't you have a piece on you? You ready?
Oh, well, I thought about it. Like it's in my bedroom in the little the safe by my bed, and I was like, it was 9 o'clock at night though. And again,
that's weird.
I don't live in like I would joke about where I live. Like I don't live in the ghetto. I live in
a gated community.
Yeah, it's a decent apartment complex. Gated ghetto. But I'm like, okay, I'm not going to grab my gun because it's 9 o'clock, and I've already scared one person in this apartment with my gun when the maintenance man came to replace my microwave.
Yeah.
Well, he's actually in your apartment.
While I was taking a nap.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I wake up and there's some dude. I'm like, hey man. He's like, whoa. Maintenance! I knocked like 5 times. I was like, dude, I was napping hard.
That is an occupational hazard right there.
Sorry, Bob. I was napping hard. But this guy, like, as soon as I open the door, he just starts walking in, like, right into my... and then he looks up and he's like, oh, my God, I'm in the wrong apartment, and, like, runs away.
Did he run away like this?
You came in hard and left soft, man. What was that?
Yeah.
Did he run away like with jazz hands?
No, it wasn't like that.
Running down the stairs.
It was, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he left. And I think I could have had him, quite frankly.
I think you could have taken him down?
No, I think I could have had him sexually if I wanted.
Maybe he was on a date.
I think he saw me wearing jeans and no shirt. And I wasn't soaking wet, but I had kind of half stepped into the shower, so I was a little bit wet.
This dude was working the back page of Craigslist. He was on an out call.
He might have been, or I think maybe he saw my ad and was
maybe that was it.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Exactly. Well, the guy 2 nights ago who was banging on my door, like, again, these people knocking on doors like they're cops.
Dude, if somebody bangs on my door like that, I'm hitting the floor and shutting up.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna find out who you are, and you're not gonna come in my house.
I got 4 dogs. They'll just go
let the
crazy.
dogs bark. You're never gonna know I'm home. You bang on my door like that at 9 o'clock at night.
I open the door and it's a.
You need a dog.
He's got an attack cat.
I live on the 3rd floor. Like,
never mind.
See, you have to train it to go out.
And listen, man, it's not like I'm not scared. You know, it's just.
It's want to deal with it. Yeah,
it's rude to bang on someone's door like that. Well, it was this little old lady who's asking if I've seen a dog.
Oh,
and I'm like, I'm on the 3rd floor.
Yeah, what do you think? You got a mountain climbing dog? Like, is this a billy goat? You think climbed up the wall into my window?
Is it on the roof?
She was desperate.
she's like, I'm looking. I see this lady walking her dog all the time. It's like a little,
like Shih Tzu,
not
or
like
something?
a tiny poodle, but like not a big poodle either. It's like
okay.
a
medium.
kind of fat, like
And she misses her dog.
Oh, yeah.
You know how
and
desperate a little old lady would have to be to go knock
But
on
I'm
a
like,
stranger's door?
Apparently, she's banging on everybody's door, and I'm like, no, I haven't seen that dog. You live on the first floor. You think that dog's coming upstairs? I'm like,
Heartless woman.
hey, you want to hang out? No, your dog barks at me when I walk by. Like, you think I'm gonna hang out with your stupid dog? But you're gonna come up and knock on my door like you're the damn police. All right.
Living in Melrose Place.
I know. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the hour. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1. Got to tell you guys about Game Day Men's Health. And, man, if you ever reach that point where you just don't feel yourself, and it happens to the best of us, Game Day Men's Health can help you out on that. Usually it comes down to testosterone, and it can happen to anybody. And, again, my testosterone levels were not extremely low. Like, I was in the range where they were like willing to give me a boost. Mine weren't extremely low, and I said, well, if I can feel better, why not? Oh man, when you get some testosterone in your body, it's like you feel good, baby. You feel good. You sleep better. My poor wife, when I see her, I mean, she's just she's like, dude, you got to calm down. You got to give me a break. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. And the great thing about Game Day Men's Health, it's all so convenient. First of all, convenient location, 250 East Bassey Road, right there in the quarry. And you do everything in one run. I went in, got my blood drawn. They tested me. They went over my options. We chose the best option for me. Got my treatment right there on the spot. I was in and out in an hour. And after I guess it took about 2 or 3 weeks, I felt like Superman. I'm sleeping better. I'm having more success, more fun in the gym, and God bless my wife. She knows it's working as well. So when it comes to your health, don't mess around, man. If you think you can feel better, find a way to feel better, and don't settle. Don't settle for how you feel now. Be the best version of you. Call Game Day, 210-900-3691, 210-900-3691. Feel better and be better. It's Game Day.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
All right, good news, friends. They're on the northeast side, 35 northbound Judson Road. That multi-vehicle accident has cleared off the freeway. You still might notice a little bit of a slow residual delay. 410 northbound Ray Ellison. This wreck is now off to the right shoulder. And a stall at Highway 90 eastbound General McMullen left lane. 5-6 minute delay has you slow from 151 Castroville Road. On I-10 westbound Ralph Fair, northwest side of town, accident right lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time saver traffic.
South Texas College Football Headquarters. Time of the year for fans. Bowl season is no exception. The biggest and best matchups this bowl season are brought to you by Ewald Kubota, the Break Room Bar, and Smoky Mo's Barbecue. Hear them all on South Texas' first and only FM sports station, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
Joel, I've invented the perfect exercise machine. It's practical, efficient, and fits in any home. I give you the Row and Go. Ta-da! It's a rowing machine that connects to your toilet, so you can row and...
Stop. Folks at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC will help homes stay in tip-top shape. Call Quarter Moon 651-5899.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899.
License number M16004, TACLA 141074E.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
What's up, football fans? BetMGM is giving you the chance to win up to $250,000 in bonus bet credits. It's all part of BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot, where you could be able to split the grand prize with anyone else who bet on the longest touchdown of the week. Log into your BetMGM account today and opt into the promo. Then place an anytime touchdown wager of $10 or more on the player of your choice, up to one player per game. If your player scores the longest touchdown of the week, you'll win a share of the $250K in credits. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot subject to rules. See BetMGM.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are unrestricted rewards credits that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Why do these folks still have Christmas lights in their yard? It's January 15th today. What's the statute of limitations on getting Christmas down?
It's San Antonio. There is none. Leave them up.
I mean, listen, on this little road here, Eisenhower, that you go, like,
yeah. There's a few.
There's not really houses before us on my way in, but if I ever go to 35, like between our office and 35,
right,
there's a ton of people who have Christmas lights up. Like,
and those lights have been on those houses for 30 years. They're not coming down.
Nah.
I think you should just leave them on year round.
And keep them on?
Yeah, why not?
Or just turn them
off.
off.
Living in Vegas.
Well, I mean, it's like Christmas music. If you were still hearing Christmas music now,
it would just be regular music. And
right.
I would still be happy. I would be singing Little Drummer Boy to you right now. No, it's San Antonio.
It takes
take
away
your lights
from
down, but we don't take our lights down.
And it takes away from the mystique of Christmas.
Well, there are plenty of places that you go to that have lights in their trees, but they're just all white. And we go, oh, no big deal. I mean, that's just decorative lighting.
I think my neighbor across from me.
But if you have your red and green lights in the shape of a tree on your front lawn, like, it might be time.
No one can see it at my house because it's kind of off the street. But I have white lights on the trees in front of the house that are on a timer. They're on every day.
That's, again, you don't live where people can see you.
But even if I would be, they don't look. It doesn't look Christmassy. It just looks like decorated trees. Now we also have those laser things that you can shine onto the tree that sparkle. That looks like light. I leave that on year round too.
Do you really?
Yeah, it looks cool. I like the way it looks.
Oh,
like having a disco ball in your front yard.
Yeah, and as I do this my house search, and I've started to go look at some houses and like all the different kinds of.
Do they all have HOAs?
There's a lot of options. The ones that don't have HOAs,
you got a weird house.
You're out in the country and
you
like
got some neighbor that there's a reason why there was an HOA.
Dude, I went to a house that was awesome, and on a big lot, like a 4 or 5 acre lot.
Ooh, perfect.
And right next door to it was another big lot with a dilapidated trailer house on it.
Yeah, so
and it's like
I see why you need an HOA, but I want you to start it and finish it before I get there because I don't want to join.
Yeah. So
I'm not an HOA guy. I want a green door. I want a pink door, and I don't want anybody to stop me.
Yeah, it just kind of depends. Like, I mean, if you live out in the country, obviously you're not going to have one, and I see but also when you live in a neighborhood, a nice neighborhood, I see the value of it because you don't want to pay a premium bucks for like a gated community and then have somebody who like won't mow their lawn or has like busted down cars in front of their house. Like,
oh yeah.
You know, it's
or like oil stains everywhere, like
right.
my driveway.
You know what I mean? And do I think it's annoying when I get letters from my HOA in Vegas and they're like, "Hey, but like we got one. You need because we had pulled up some dead plants in the front yard. The count of plants in your yard is too short. You need to plant 2 plants in your yard.
See, no,
it's annoying, but."
Won't do it, man.
Nope.
I will not buy a house in an HOA.
Really?
I had to deal with one in Florida. And the laws are a little bit different in every state, how HOAs, how much control they have over you. But Florida's pretty close to Texas. I don't want to give access to anybody who could take my house because I didn't bring in my garbage cans. I mean, literally, that's a worst-case scenario, and it's never happened, but it could. And I'm not ever going to put myself into a situation like that.
But I also want my neighbors to bring in their garbage cans.
I get it. But I'm never going to put myself in that situation.
So I'm not like hardcore anti. I mean, I hate my homeowner association. I think every homeowners association I've hated, but I also understand their place in the world.
I do. I just, as a personal choice, if I'm looking at something and go, oh, by the way, and your HOA dues are,
let's go somewhere else.
I'm out. I don't care if they were to zero. I'm not joining that club.
I love the setup at your house where, I mean, you're away from, like, you're off the road. No one can see your house from the road. I mean, that's the perfect setup. You're surrounded by trees, and no one's going to bother you.
I can bury bodies all
No
over
one
that
knows
place.
what you're doing. I wish I could find a place like that. It's awesome.
They can't see the backhoe from there.
They can't see the backhoe, the slaughterhouse. You can't see it at all. It's worked out quite well.
But Rob's in a different tax bracket than I am, so I've got to find like the plebe version.
One day I hope
that.
to get off government assistance.
I've got to find the plebe version of Rob's place, which is
one day.
Where's that?
I'm gonna pull myself up by my bootstraps.
Well, it's that house that has the jalopy trailer house next to it.
Well, just put a privacy.
Well, one day I endeavored to actually.
I meant to ask you, can I put a jalopy trailer on your property and just pay you?
Just live there.
Let me tell you, across the fence from me, I stare at a jalopy trailer. I mean, it's just part of life out on, when you got some land and there's a guy that's got a trailer tucked back in his property and I can see it.
No, he lives in it?
No, nobody's lived in that thing for 10 years.
Oh,
it's one of those.
Perfect.
Yeah, but I've got a barn
like
I'm
the
not
floors
proud
are
of
rotted out of it.
And I've got a barn that no one can see that my neighbors can see that I'm not proud of either. They're looking at me like, what a.
Do you ever think about just taking it down or lighting it on fire or
that thing? Nah, I don't care.
I'm talking about your barn.
Knock it down.
Oh, that barn's going to fall down on its own. It's going to take care of itself, but it needs to be completely refurbed. Does
it need to be refurbed or
just knock it
knocked down?
It was built by my father and myself over time, over years. So it started out as a cinder block building with no floor, and then we've added on to it, and it's built by non-carpenters.
And it's time.
It's
those are the best.
I'm not proud of it, but it's behind. But every person with a little bit of property has that area where you can just go dump crap, where you don't know where it's going to go, and you can find a place you can hide it, and I'll worry about it later. That's where that area is, and it's just on the fence where the neighbors can see it.
My mom's ranch out in Shiner. There's a place called The Hole. And it's a giant hole in the ground.
All I needed to know. I know exactly.
Old washing machines.
Yeah, there's pickup truck ruts right to the hole that backs all the way there. I know exactly what it looks like.
Nice.
All right. Last hour of the program coming up. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
6 for 6, and the Aggies have the lead.
Your home for Aggies football. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The new $7 Lux Cravings Box from Taco Bell with 3 indulgent full-size classics, chips, nacho cheese sauce, and a drink for just $7. At participating stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks exclude freezes. Tax extra.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson for Prize Picks, the best place to get real money on your sports action. Me and 10 million other people are playing every day, and now's the time to do it. Have you ever heard of this? You've got a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your season all game long, and now 1,000 times your cash. Heck, I've been a Prize Picks player for a long time. I've not seen this. 1,000 times your cash. It's playoff time. It's now or never. Don't miss out on the fun in the last few weeks of the football season. Prize Picks is the best place to play. Up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get the action on the sports that you're playing, and now you can get up to 1,000 times your cash. Join over 10 million members. Play today. And if you sign up today, you get up to $50 instantly when you play. Use the code ALAMO. Sign up today for 1,000 times your cash. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the OrthoNow Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. OrthoNow provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, OrthoNow has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
George gets justice.
No amount of money can make up for a life-changing injury. I'm George Salinas, and at George Salinas Injury Lawyers, our team of attorneys will fight to get you the maximum compensation because we prepare and we care. So if you've been injured in an accident, get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure, dewy skin. Terrific.
Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare.
Wow. With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
All right, good news, friends. They're on the northeast side, 35 northbound Judson Road. That multi-vehicle accident has cleared off the freeway. You still might notice a little bit of a slow residual delay. 410 northbound Ray Ellison. This wreck is now off to the right shoulder. And a stall at Highway 90 eastbound General McMullen left lane. 5-6 minute delay has you slow from 151 Castroville Road. On I-10 westbound Ralph Fair, northwest side of town, accident right lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time saver traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The Spurs return to action tonight at 500, sitting at 19-19, welcoming in the third in the West, Memphis Grizzlies. Tip will be at 7 o'clock at the Frost Center. The Dallas Cowboys continue their search for a head coach as Mike McCarthy is already getting looks around the league. He's scheduled to meet with the Chicago Bears today for an interview. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Final hour, the Morning Huddle on 94.1. Hey, Vic.
Yeah.
What day do we have Dr. Garrett on?
Oh, it's Wednesdays right now.
Well, hell. Did you forget to call him?
Yeah. Always forget to call Dr. Garrett.
How's your sugar levels in there, Bubba?
Little high. because of the sandwich we had earlier.
A little high.
Okay.
Little.
Oh, hi.
Yeah,
At least you're honest with me. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, you want to give him a shout and see if we can pop him on?
Find a dog.
Yeah, let me see if I can find his number here.
Make sure you apologize for being a scumbag who totally forgot to.
Well, he
get in
got to
touch
sleep in this.
Good Lord. Vic, I mean, he ate a sausage biscuit and he just
Which, by the way,
his mind.
we need to. The Bob from Whataburger is the finest of all breakfast sandwiches.
It's a good breakfast sandwich.
It's perfect in its simplicity. Perfect. There's
Yeah.
nothing extra, nothing fancy.
Yeah.
Just good. Good thick
sausage, egg, and cheese, and a little spice. I like that Whataburger sausage. Has a little spice to it.
Just enough. It's perfect in its basicness.
I wish it had a sauce.
Yeah, well, I agree. And you can go places where you get a sauce. But
Yeah.
the Bob is singularly perfect from Corpus to wherever you go to a Whataburger. It's always good.
What sauce do you like on a breakfast sandwich?
I don't. I'm not only sauce I like, and it's one that I didn't like initially, was the cane sauce. I don't like Chick-fil-A sauce. I don't like Jack sauce. No, I never want any Jack sauce on anything.
Okay.
That goes without saying. But I'm not a sauce guy. I rarely even use ketchup on fries.
My dad used to make a sandwich he would call the cholesterol burger. And it was basically like we would eat it at night, but it was a breakfast sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Texas toast with fried hard eggs and bacon and usually sausage as well and cheese and mayo.
That's the way I do it.
Oh, my God. Just greasy as all hell. It's just dripping.
Just went to
toast.
voicemail.
Oh, well,
twice.
we lost him.
All right,
We'll talk to Garrett when need be. He's probably doing something interesting and exciting and in some fantastic place anyway.
He's probably doing a bunch of pull-ups. my guess.
I'll lay money he's skiing. That's just what I would put out there.
Well, either way, we'll try.
We'll catch up with Dr. Garrett.
And we know, all these people are hurt. What are we gonna do?
They'll get better.
What are we gonna do? We're running out of football games. It's like, they'll be all right. It's been announced who's going to play in the first ever game in Berlin, or at least who's going to host it, and that is going to be the Indianapolis Colts. The first game in Berlin, Germany. The Colts will get that call. We don't know exactly who's going to play it yet. It's going to be played at Olympic Stadium, and the Colts' opponent will be announced when the schedule is released, which is going to be this spring. We know who all the opponents are, but you never know where who it's going to be. I wonder if do you think there's like negotiation with these teams? Like, hey,
well, there's rules, right? You only have to do it every so often because you are giving up home gate.
But if you're the road team, though,
right? But there's something financial. There's a hit to it, so you don't have to do it very often. And once you do it, unless you want to do it, you don't have to do it again for a couple of years. But Jacksonville has staked out London. They've decided at some point, if the world should shift and the league grows, they're going to London.
Or if they find out that your franchise would be more valuable in London than Jacksonville, Florida.
Which, shockingly, it might very well be. But I do think that they have
Although Jacksonville
out,
is very metropolitan.
as much as it can be on the Atlantic coast over there. But I do think that they've staked out London, and when the league does, in fact, grow to what it wants to be, this truly worldwide thing, that Jacksonville has made a strategic choice. That we know that London might be our land, and we might be the best place for us. We might be the Giants or the Jets, the thing in the big city. I wonder what team's going to decide that maybe Berlin would be our plan B. And the Colts sound like it would be a pretty good idea. I wonder what team was going to stake out that land, like the Jacksonville Jaguars are London's team. Is there an owner that go, you know what? Worst case, maybe I end up in Berlin.
I mean,
I'll play there every year.
I always think about like whose teams don't make a bunch of money or not in like the best financial situation and aren't in a great market right now.
The Bengals.
Yeah. I mean, the Titans. Did the Titans get a new stadium or did they broken ground on a new one?
I think they're getting a new one. Remember, a tornado messed up the other one, and they had a vote. I think they're getting a new one, like a dome.
And they're right there on the river. Yeah, Cincinnati and Cleveland both come to mind, but I mean they've got diehard fan bases.
I don't think it would
Cleveland's already lost a team.
So it'd have to be a younger franchise, like maybe the Chargers. Like if the Chargers, the Spanos family goes, you know what, we are going to own Germany.
I'm tired of sharing this building. Yeah, That's the only one that I could really picture, quite frankly. I mean, you know what? Arizona Cardinals one day.
You know, if you have to be forward thinking because we're talking 20 years from now, you know, at the soonest. But I do see an opportunity for a team out there because I know that the NFL firmly believes that Germany is their second future market, if not their first. They know how many tickets that were sold, the fan friendliness back when they were playing that USFL football over there, whatever it was. So I think the league has designs on there, and I think there's probably a place for a franchise to choose. I'll be that Jacksonville for Berlin.
I got a good one. One more hurricane, it'll be the Saints.
You know, it's not crazy. It really is.
One more natural disaster in New Orleans, and I think a lot of those pro franchises are going to go, you know what, this ain't the place for us. We got to get out of here.
I completely agree.
You know, I don't think the NFL is going to be looking to move into a place like San Antonio anymore.
No, Mexico City and Monterey get a team.
Exactly. So I think they'll look to go abroad, and the Saints would be a good fit for a team. The teams that could possibly be playing against the Colts in Berlin, these are their road opponents. It's Jacksonville, Houston, and Tennessee, obviously the AFC South teams, but Pittsburgh, Kansas City, the Chargers, Rams, and Seahawks are all on their schedule to be road teams.
Has Mahomes taken a European tour yet? I don't think he has.
I don't know.
If I was the NFL, that's the team I'd want to send. Send the Chiefs and Mahomes.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I don't. Did Brady ever make he did. Brady went over one time, didn't he?
Yeah, with Tampa.
You got to send the superstars
Tampa,
over.
I believe.
Oh, was it Tampa?
Yeah.
I knew he went. If I was the NFL, I would be negotiating with who owns the Chiefs? Bass? Bass?
No, it's isn't it Clark Hunt's kid?
The Hunts, not the Hunts.
Yeah.
Not the Basses, the Hunts. I'd talk to the Hunts about taking the Chiefs because I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl.
I don't either.
So it'd be a good opportunity for Pat Mahomes to maintain his alpha status and send him to Europe.
If they do win the Super Bowl, show him off.
That too.
Unbelievable.
It's time to send that.
It's so funny that we're sitting here saying they're not going to win the Super Bowl. It's exactly what we thought last year.
Oh, I agree. But
I saw a tweet that I made that said and this was a year ago, right around the Super Bowl. It's amazing that this is the least talented team Patrick Mahomes had in 5 years, and he just won the Super Bowl again. This team is less talented than last year's team. If they win the Super Bowl again, we really need to discuss, is he already Tom Brady level?
Well, yeah, I think we legitimately will, considering that this will be the first Tom Brady-esque team, or the second Tom Brady-esque team that he brought. I mean, it's literally him and one other dude, and that'll be enough. So I do think we'll get there, but, I think of what 2015 was like, 16 was like when he was on the come up. When you're looking to grow your brand, maybe there's somebody else that would be more appropriate to send over. Maybe it might be the younger guy because at some point, Jerry's going to have to send his team overseas. And I'm shocked it hadn't happened this year.
I'm surprised it hadn't happened either. Well, I mean, it still could happen this year, right?
Is he on the schedule for anybody else? Because at some point.
Cowboys opponents 2025.
If you're at the noon kickoff game, you get to go to Europe.
Let's see who their opponents are. They are at Panthers, at Bears, at Broncos, at Lions, at Raiders, at Jets. That's the one. And the Jets do have an overseas game in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Doesn't Kroenke own that? His friend own that stadium?
Yeah.
It's going to be this year or next. I think the clock is ticking.
The fact that it hasn't happened yet, it's like
he's going to have to go. And now that his team is on the down, that's when you get assigned.
Yeah, you're at the. But again, it's also the Cowboys going to play in New York, and the NFL doesn't like missing out on that
opportunity. I agree, and he's
too.
benefited from that. But now that the Cowboys are kind of a sideshow instead of a lead event, so the sideshows go to Europe.
The Cowboys and the Jets. That
be perfect. We're not sending our best.
We're sending the circus, baby.
We're not sending our best.
They're not sending their best. They're sending their worst. Yeah. It's the Cowboys, the Jets. This is what they're sending to us. That's what the president of England has said this exact thing to me. Why did you send that? Why did you send it?
Well, the president did, huh?
The president of England, the president of London. He called me.
The king
He
of
called me
London.
personally. The king called me, and he said, King Trump. I said, yes, King. But I don't always call him King. I still call him Prince Charles because I knew him when he was a prince, and now I still call him the prince. But he calls me King Trump.
I'm going to leave that alone.
And I said, King Charles, Prince Charles, how's your mother? And I was saddened to find that she's passed. And he's now in charge. He's in charge of the whole thing, the whole shebang.
So I'm sending you the Jets.
The whole shebang. We're going to send you the Jets and the Cowboys. And you're going to love every minute. Love it. Love it.
I'm not sending our best.
And you're not going to send anything in return. Nothing. We're accepting no one here. No soccer matches, none of that. We're not having it. Yeah, but that Jets Cowboys would be that'd be a show to send.
And I think it's time to send Jerry
I think you might be right. You know what we need to do is start
angling for the roadie. Yes.
Hell yeah,
Don't
Bubba.
think that hasn't crossed my mind.
Hell yeah.
Get on that team plane somehow.
I went out. I flew separate when like there's companies that do those trips, and what we did was like they sent Fred and I on the trip to go see Texans Jags. We ran commercials for the company. We did giveaways for two listeners got to go on the trip. I mean, it's a cool deal. But yeah, Cowboys fans are going to eat that up going on a road trip overseas. Hell yeah.
I wonder if the Spurs have a group. I mean, they're going like next week, 2 weeks. I wonder if there's a group out there. I'm sure there is. I can go buy a Spurs package.
It's probably too late.
There's always room on the plane.
Well, but like there's a lot of planning involved when you're traveling overseas. Like it's
now you have to have your visa, right?
Yeah,
not just your passport.
Yeah.
So there's an application process. But I'm sure it's not hard.
All right. When we come back, we're going to take a look at what's going on outside the world of sports. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Did you wake up and wash yourself clean underneath a Kinetico water-softened shower? I hope you did. You started your day the right way. Probably grabbed some Wheaties on the way out the door, charging into your day buttoned up. If that's you, carry on. You're doing it right. If you don't have a Kinetico water softener, you probably already made a couple of mistakes, and that was one of your first. You didn't have what you need. A Kinetico water softener is made in the United States, they're designed and built in the United States, and they really work with our kind of water. You know, the water comes out of the aquifer or the wells around town. It makes some good sweet tea and some fine light beer, but I'll tell you what, there's stuff in there that you don't want. You'll see it on your skin. You'll see it on the plates. If you don't have the right water softener, that stuff ends up places you don't want it, primarily in your body. Don't do that. Call Kinetico today. In fact, if you'll dial 656-PURE, you're going to get yourself a brand new water softener with no charge for 90 days. Kinetico, come out to your home, put a top-of-the-line Kinetico in your house, and for 90 days, you'll find out what I'm talking about. And you won't know overnight. You'll start to see the change. Now, you're going to taste the water. It's going to taste better immediately. And then you'll start to see the benefits. No more of that white stuff on your plates. Your skin's going to stay a little bit more moist. Your hair's not going to dry out. Your dog's going to be happy. Your sweet tea's going to taste better and everything that goes along with it. You're going to be happy with it, and you're going to decide to buy one. And guess what? You're going to get a great deal, great financing, better than I got. And on top of that, you're going to get a reverse osmosis drinking station on your sink just for making the wise decision and getting that Kinetico in your home. That'll start the process. But to do it, you got to call them today or go to their website, KineticoSA.com. Sing it while you type it. But take advantage of an outstanding deal for San Antonians. Call Kinetico. Get the very best in your home with no money involved for 90 days. And once you do get one, well, you're never going to have to deal with problems. I've had a Kinetico for years and have never had one problem. I assume the warranty is great. I've never had to use it. Get yourself a Kinetico, and I'm sure you're going to come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working an accident on Loop 410 eastbound Bandera. Right lane block. Delay start at West Military Drive. On 35 southbound Thousand Oaks, northeast side of town. That wreck is in the right lane. A little bit of a delay from Evans. On 281 southbound Hildebrand, disabled vehicle now off to the shoulder. 1604 westbound Redland Road, broken down vehicle right shoulder blocked. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit card.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance. But Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure, dewy skin. Terrific.
Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare.
Wow. With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
My wife and I always loved doing everything together. Jiu-jitsu, kayaking, and intimacy was always on point. It was around my early 30s when I noticed a downward trend. Watching a lot of TV, putting on weight, and just full of self-doubt. I had tried another men's clinic with disappointing results. It's the personalized treatment I receive at Revive Men's Health that has been the complete game changer for me. I've got my energy and motivation back, I'm feeling stronger than I did in my 20s, and it made me a much better husband to my wife.
I'm Nicole Chrysler, healthcare provider at Revive Men's Health. If you are always feeling tired or moody, have a difficult time sleeping, or decreased libido, you may be suffering from low testosterone.
Book your free T-check and exam. Call Revive Men's Health San Antonio at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Is health or fitness a goal this year? Great news. The King of Paddle has arrived in San Antonio with 8 pickleball and 6 paddle courts. Their indoor facility suits all skill levels from beginners to seasoned players. Mark your calendar for their January 18th and 19th winter tournament. Find details at thekingofpaddle.com or at the King of Paddle SA on social media. Visit their new downtown location at 314 Nolan Street or check out the new King of Paddle facility with us tomorrow as we broadcast the Blitz live from 2 to 6.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Now, this is a banger.
Were you a Hall or an Oates fan?
Neither.
I always thought Hall was a little bit more pensive, and Oates was the crazy one, the wild one.
Oh yeah, the wild card. Didn't they have like a big falling out?
I think they did. I think that Oates always felt like Hall got all the credit.
Well, his name came first. Why?
Well, Daryl Hall has that show that I've watched on with Encore or whatever. It's like live at Daryl's house where he has other musicians come over and they kind of jam. It's
Does he ever invite Oates over?
I haven't seen Oates. No, I haven't. He has not made an appearance. I don't know if that's because of anger or
and also
location.
Like when you the name Hall and Oates sounds like hauling oats. Like
it does, yeah.
And I wonder if that played into it being Hall and Oates instead of
Our
Oates
name sucks.
Oates and Hall.
I remember they came in concert back here in the mid '80s, and it was Hall & Oates and Till Tuesday. Oh yeah, yeah, it's a rock.
I don't know anything about
Till Tuesday. Voices carry, man, sucks.
Yeah.
Let's see. John Oates goes public about legal battle with Daryl Hall.
Writing credits at stake. Money. But behind the scenes.
Let's see. Here's
the band was in turmoil.
John Oates, half of the legendary duo responsible for "You Make My Dreams Come True" and "Rich Girl."
That's what he wrote.
I think they allegedly wrote them all together. The two haven't worked together creatively in almost 20 years. Last studio album was 2003's "Do It for Love," followed by a 2006 Christmas album that only contained 2 songs.
Creative differences.
Album?
Yeah. It's an LP, I think is what we'd call it.
Their legal troubles began in November of last year. No, November 23, sorry, when Hall filed suit against Oates over Oates' plan to sell his share of their company, Hall Oates Enterprises. Hall argued that the sale would violate their business agreement, and he also requested a restraining order against Oates.
I have a feeling he was on a very thin ice there.
Oates said he was just frustrated by what he characterized as the company's complex legal issues and found the company wasn't making him happy, so he decided to bow out.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you know what? Daryl has always wanted to be his own man. I'm going to give him his opportunity to do that. If I sell my half, he can do what he wants. Oates did not seem to expect Hall to react negatively. Hall's lawyers described him as blindsided by the decision and characterized the move as the ultimate partnership betrayal.
No, that's very true. It's like the ultimate marriage betrayal is divorce. Yes, I think he's trying to sell half the business. You have been betrayed.
Well, but what he's doing is, it sounds like Oates was saying, I'm going to sell this. Do you want it, or do you want me to sell it to somebody else? I can sell it to you, and you can have all of it. Or, if you don't want it, I'm going to sell it to the guy who stole Taylor Swift's songs. I don't know who it is. Who it's going to be. That guy's hated,
That was the guy that was Bieber's Scooter.
Oh, man.
Scooter McGavin.
Yeah, I don't know what his name is. They don't like him, though.
Well, I hate to hear that Hall & Oates aren't getting along.
Yeah.
Blue-Eyed Soul needs a front runner.
Yeah, it's too bad.
But it's the Philly sound, though. They could jam. I was a fan of Hall & Oates. Underappreciated band.
Hall has released multiple songs, and the hit song "Philly Mood." I don't know that we're going to call "Philly Mood" a hit song. No. I don't know that I even know what that song would sound like.
It was number 3 in Belgium for nearly 2 weeks.
Yeah, Oates released a new solo album this year titled "Reunion," which is probably kind of playing a trick on people.
Yeah, that's kind of an odd. Maybe he's reunited with his mustache. Did he grow it back?
He was
a good stash.
Inspired by the blues and folk music he was interested in before he met Daryl Hall. Now, Oates did say in his interview with Good Morning America that despite their disagreements, he still loves Hall like a brother. Brothers have disagreements. Families grow apart. I wish him the best.
I just don't want to ever
I hope
see
that
him,
he
talk
has
to him, or do
everything
business
he
with
wants
him.
in life, and that he can pursue his dream of being a respected solo artist, which I believe is something that he's always wanted.
Well, at some point they'll reunion, and we'll see him at the Majestic along with 3 other reunion bands, and it'll be fun.
Yeah.
About 5 years from now. Once one of them has a tax debt or kids getting married, they'll go back on tour.
John Oates was on Masked Singer.
Oh, see, how far have we fallen?
God.
Man. See,
what?
He was selling part of that catalog because he needed some money.
Oh, man.
You're doing Masked Singer. You're looking for a check.
He's dressed up like a panda bear wearing overalls. Like,
Poor guy.
What the hell?
I used to be somebody.
Poor John.
In this industry, I used to matter. Now give me my fish head and let me go out and be masked.
Yeah. Where's my check?
And it sucks. It also sucks being in a band with, like, I would imagine Daryl Hall is always been kind of bitter because he was, or that John Oates has been kind of bitter because he was in a band with a really tall guy. And it's like when there's only 2 of you, there's no hiding. There's no hiding that one of you is much taller than the other. And I think John Oates is like, I think he's very small. Like
tiny, really.
Let me look up John Oates.
Pocket-sized.
John
Pocket-sized Oates.
Height. What do we think?
I'm thinking.
Oh.
5'7".
5'4".
Oh, God.
Really?
Yeah. So, because like
pound for pound, one of America's greatest musicians.
I mean, when you see them next to each other, it's always like on album covers, you know, they make it look like that on an album cover, right?
Well, yeah,
like so, it looks like they're about the same height.
But so like Oates is standing on a phone book and Daryl's in a hole.
Then when you see them, like actually, it's like, oh my God! Now we can tell that John Oates is like literally a near dwarf, 5'4".
So was Prince.
Yeah, but Prince had sex. Prince.
Look at Mr. Oates. He exudes it.
He doesn't exude sex.
Oh,
Prince
look at
did.
him. It's like leaking out of his mustache. It just seeps out.
Well, he doesn't have a mustache anymore. Now he has.
See, that's his problem.
He has the soul
patch.
patch.
Right here? Yeah.
And he's got the long, like like the kind of greasy curls. It really kind of grosses me out.
He sold part of his catalog. He needs some cash, man.
Yeah, I don't like it.
He pawned his mustache.
I don't like it. But yeah, you could tell like Daryl Hall's like I don't know how. I mean, he's not like a giant, I don't think, but he's like a 6-foot dude. Yeah, like average. And like when you're standing next to that guy, and you guys are like the duo, and like at the end of the show, you go out to take your bow, and like I bet Daryl
like
Hall
he's already
patted.
bowed.
I bet he patted him on the head,
hand on
and
his
like,
head.
oh man, that would piss me off
Daryl's
too.
the front guy anyway. He's the voice.
Well, now this is why John Oates wants out. He's sick of this,
Well,
man.
I don't blame him. You can go find a little tiny piece of person band, little people band.
Okay, if Daryl Hall was
Monsters
in a band,
of Rock.
If Daryl Hall was in a band with Prince, who would be the lead?
Daryl Hall, because he's taller and you know, the tall guys always win.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I saw a video yesterday of the 2004 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And it was, I forget who was getting inducted, but it was a guitar thing. It was, I think it was My Guitar Gently Weeps. It was the Eric Clapton song.
Okay.
And they had 3 or 4 dudes wailing, and then Prince walked out and closed down the show. And he jams, does his solo, and throws his guitar up in the air and walked off the stage, and it was the single greatest guitar performance I'd ever seen.
2004 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees included Jackson Browne, George Harrison.
I think it was Harrison going in, and they were playing for him in honor of him.
Prince was going in.
Oh, maybe that's why he jammed.
The Dells, ZZ Top, Bob Seger, Traffic, and Jan Winter. I don't know who Jan Winter is. That's a made-up person.
It's Edgar Winters.
That's a pretty good class, though. ZZ Top, Prince, George Harrison, and Bob Seger. Pretty good run.
Go find the clip.
I've listened to that. Yeah,
one where he throws
fantastic.
the guitar in the air and he's gone before the guitar lands.
I'm a rarity. My favorite Beatle is George Harrison.
He released, of all the former Beatles, he wasn't prolific, but his first record after they left, the one where he did like the songs for Cambodia or whatever, one of the greatest records ever made.
I think he was underappreciated in comparison to his peers.
He was the glue guy.
Yeah, he was the mystic of the group.
Well, he was the glue guy. He held, John and Paul were the front guys, the writers. Yeah. Ringo was the crazy
George was
dude.
also a very good writer. I think George just didn't have the ego to fight with him over stuff.
And it worked. And Ringo was the lunatic, the guy that was, they brought him along.
Ringo just felt lucky he was in the band.
Yeah, and it acted as if. But when they all finally split up and they could go do their own thing, that George Harrison record back about 75, 76, great record.
Oh, yeah, George. George was, like I said, and you talk about having a good mustache in his time.
Good hair, good mustache.
Oh boy, that was a that was a mustache, and I guess he had kind of the curly hair too, but it wasn't as greasy looking. I don't know when his hair went curly, because when they all had the mop cuts, it was like very straight and clean cut, and then when he got into his
discovered
his hippie phase.
Yeah, he discovered drugs and it curled his hair.
Yeah, I think that must have been.
Kids, don't do that. It'll curl your hair.
Yeah,
it's not your growth. You'll end up being only Daryl or John Oates' size.
Was My Sweet Lord on the first album that you're talking about?
I think it was. Yeah, okay. I think it was.
Yeah. What a man, that George Harrison.
What a man.
Miss him and Prince. I miss them every day. I think about them every single day of my life. That's actually not true. That's a made up story. But I did enjoy their fine work. And
that yellow submarine tattoo on the inside of your thigh.
Yeah, I don't think about John Oates every day, but I've thought about him a lot.
Maybe that's what's been lacking in your life. Maybe that's been the one piece that has kept you back these many years. What would Daryl and John do?
I've thought about him a lot today. I will say that.
Well, you're good for a decade.
I finished Landman last night.
Everybody has. Good. Keep it to yourself. Don't say anything to me other than you have finished it.
Everybody dies.
Everybody dies. It's a Game of Thrones. Don't get attached.
No, it is good, Rob. You got to watch it.
I agree. I think you got to check this thing out. The last episode is it's a banger.
I want so much not to like Billy Bob Thornton. I don't want to like him.
You don't want to?
I don't want to, because
you will.
Anytime I see him off screen just as himself,
he's weird.
He's dressed like a homeless pirate.
Yeah.
And he speaks in, see, the thing about him is he looks one way, He looks like that with like the hoop earring and some kind of weird do-rag on his head and some kind of weird scarf.
And he wears women's jeans.
And whatever, and all that. And then when he starts talking,
okay,
he sounds like a real, he doesn't sound like he looks. So if you hear him talking, you go, well, that's just an old South Texas cowboy who's giving you Landmen,
Right.
He sounds and looks, you think he's going to look like the dude from Landmen. And then you see him and you go, that doesn't fit. There's something screwy about this guy. He can't find a place to land. He's everywhere. And I don't trust that.
I like him.
Shifty.
I like him.
Ne'er-do-well.
I don't like that he dresses like Cam Newton when he's not working.
See, that's just weird, man.
Other than that, I do like him. Kris Jenner is very nervous. Why, you might ask? Why is Kris Jenner nervous? There's apparently
a sex tape,
an OJ recording, an audio recording that has surfaced.
What?
And now, remember last month there were claims that OJ was caught on tape confessing to the murders.
Caught on tape.
And then it turned out that wasn't true.
Yeah.
But there was a recording that was found on a thumb drive in his backpack when he was arrested in 2022.
Okay.
And the audio was uncovered, and it didn't have. Now this was his security guard got arrested.
Okay,
OJ didn't get arrested in 22. His security guard did. But his security guard had a drive that apparently had that was claimed had OJ confessing on it. It wasn't that, but apparently there is a claim that the Juice had a taped conversation talking about his affair with Kris Jenner.
Oh,
who, if you recall,
was the best
was
friend.
The wife of his good friend and later attorney, Robert Kardashian.
Right.
He's the guy with the skunk spot on the head.
Right. Yes. And there have long been rumors that
OJ was the Kardashians' daddy.
OJ is at least one of their daddy.
Which one do you think it was? I don't know the.
They say that it's Chloe.
Chloe,
the youngest of them. Which, let's face
fat one?
she's the least fortunate looking of the three.
Oh man.
Yeah, like the other like Kim
needed
and
more surgery.
Well, there's an answer to that immediately.
A DNA test.
Yeah, I mean we can put that.
But I don't
in
think
real
Kris
quick.
wants that to happen.
Well, no, probably not. There's no unless you were chasing the OJ estate, unless you were chasing some money.
Is there an OJ estate?
Well, I don't think so. I think the Kardashian estate's a bit bigger. You might open the door to some other stuff.
I think you might want to. They're probably like, hey, none of us do. Now, one person says that Norman Pardo, who's OJ's former manager, says that Jenner and his ex-boss, in fact, did hook up while hanging out in a jacuzzi. OJ said he stood up, pulled his shorts down, and I'll give you exactly what he said. Her eyes bugged out of her head, and I effed that bee until I broke her. That's what he said about Kris Jenner. He said they were both married at the time. And now Kris Jenner has obviously always said, I've never had sex with OJ, but apparently Kris was known for sleeping with multiple men during her marriage to Robert. But Kris has often threatened legal action. I think she just doesn't want people to know that OJ was,
Yeah, he was up in my mom.
Nobody wants to admit that they had sex with a murderer. Like that sucks. Like, oh yeah, I got a kid from OJ Simpson. Like, it's a lot better to say, oh my Robert Kardashian.
The thing is, he was found out
attorney.
not guilty, but we still think he's the murderer. Yeah,
We think.
Yeah, we know.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no, and he's probably not the father, but he did hit it. No doubt in my mind, he got that. Yeah. Yeah, that happened. We all can admit that.
Yeah. Anthony says, I'm pretty sure while my guitar gently weeps is the Beatles, which
George
it
Harrison.
absolutely is, and that song in particular is written by George.
Right, and
Harrison.
I think it was that intro that
that's
they were
what it.
playing
That's what
the
it.
song. And
that's
he
how it all came
wailed
to
it,
be.
yeah.
So I'm pretty sure George Harrison and Prince were playing together.
They were. They were all four
yeah.
of them. There were.
Yeah.
I think Petty was on the stage too. Clapton. I think Jeff Beck was on the stage.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the
like
legend.
the legends of guitar
and
rock.
Prince put him to bed, put him to sleep through the guitar, and walked off before the song was done.
Yeah. Now, I remember, I think maybe was Eric Clapton out there too?
I think, yeah, Clapton was out there.
Because remember, Clapton and George Harrison were like, they were best buddies. And then I think, So I think they worked in, they did some co-writing for Cream. Like, it's all, I think Prince isn't necessarily associated with any of those guys, but because he was getting inducted, he came out and just shredded on that song. It was
Here's
badass.
a Prince tidbit. He wrote a song that he actually wrote it for, what's her name, Sheena Easton.
Mhm.
And he wrote Sugar Walls for Sheena Easton.
Okay.
And that was a hit, and then they did the duet together. He wrote another song for her. She didn't like it, and it ended up being picked up by the Bangles.
Mm-hmm.
It was Manic Monday. That's a Prince song.
Really?
Yeah.
Imagine Prince writes a song for you and you say, I don't like that.
Yeah, that's not good for me. But whatever. I mean,
so Prince wrote Manic Monday for this gal, and she said, I don't like that.
Didn't fit. She didn't have a record coming, whatever else, so he kept shopping it around. He felt like,
oh, he wrote it for her to perform.
Yes, and
I
she
thought you
didn't
meant
want
he wrote it for her as like a
love song. No,
yeah, I was like, that's first of all, that's a
by
weird
the time
love
he's
song.
writing that song, he's already hit that. He doesn't need the song. And secondly, he wrote for her, and it didn't match, so it went on to be Manic Monday. He
I'll be
also,
damned.
when you look at his records,
She
he
probably
believed,
felt real dumb for passing on that.
probably. He believed he had about 5 personalities. And
Prince
he would
did?
assign writing credit to the personality that he believed helped him write the song. And one of them, at least one of them, was a woman.
Really?
So if you look on the writing credits, like there's a guy named Coco, Joey Coco or something, that's Prince. And he had like a woman's name that he would give writing credits to because he felt like that was the inspiration behind.
Wow.
I know, but see, I learned that when I went to the Prince Museum. in
Really?
Minneapolis.
Interesting.
I know that the Since You've Been Gone, the Kelly Clarkson big hit, they wrote that song for Pink, and she said no thanks. I don't want that. I know that Hit Me Baby One More Time, the Britney Spears hit, was written for the group TLC.
Yeah.
And they passed on it.
Oh, she passed on it, or did they did Left Eye just pass?
No, I think that was brutal.
Too soon, sorry.
Umbrella, Rihanna's Umbrella.
Yeah.
Ella was written for Britney Spears. She passed on that. God, what was the other one? There's another very famous one. Bye 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 for NSYNC.
Yeah.
There's a British band. I can't remember the name of the British band. It's like a boy band that none of us have heard of. That was like they passed on it and they were like, and then NSYNC did it and obviously became a massive hit. Bye 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 bye. Don't wanna be.
I don't remember
for
the song.
you.
I just remember the dance. Yeah.
You got to do this. You gotta,
Did you follow the video too? Were you dancing along
Hell
with
yeah,
it?
man. What a weird time that was for MTV, where it was like the boy band craze and Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears and Jessica Simpson were all like these massive stars.
And we wonder why grunge hit.
But there was also Limp Bizkit and Korn and Kid Rock were also, it was like a boom for them. And
Because
so
we hated the other side.
when that show TRL would come on, it was like coming in at number 2, Kid Rock, Ba with the Ba. Coming in at number 1, the Backstreet Boys. It's like, what kidding me?
How?
This is happening. But what an eclectic time. And it was a mix of these rap rock songs. Oh, and Eminem. Eminem was there too at the time. So you had to have him in there.
What a terrible time in music.
Like the NSYNCs and Christina Aguilera and they would just rotate through. The newest song by NSYNC is now out. That's the new number 1. Oh, Eminem released a new song. That's the new number 1. That was all the music that mattered in the world, unfortunately.
Christina Aguilera.
Yeah. I'm a genie in a bottle, baby.
What happened to her? She's still around?
I think she is.
Yeah, she's
Remember,
still
she
around.
was on The Voice for a long time.
Oh, that's right. She needs to come up with a Christmas song and then just become that and just show up one time a year.
She was actually a very good singer, like probably better than most of those other gals of her era.
Yeah.
And she was pretty hot too. She was a hot little number back then.
I vaguely remember that.
There was a lot going on there with like Brittany, Christina.
It was those two.
Jessica Simpson, remember, was big,
Yeah.
and she was mostly hot and not much substance. And then Mandy Moore, who wasn't as hot as the others, but was more talented than them, and that became
acting, right?
Yeah, she ended up being an actress. All right, well, there's your
there's your non-sports.
I don't know, just
there you go.
They're random stuff.
And now you know the rest of the story. When we come back, we'll take a look at the daily lines. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I got to tell you guys about Carbach Brewing. Oh, I had a hopadillo last night over at the SA Card House. Cracked that bad boy open. There was a friendly guy at the table named Tom who said, I want to buy everybody a beer at the table. And I said, okay, Bubba, and I'll take a hopadillo. Sure enough, brought that bad boy over. Guy next to me was like, what's that? Oh, you don't know? You better ask somebody. Hopadillo, an in-your-face IPA, super bitter, super hop-forward, just crushes it for a Texas IPA. But if you don't go for IPAs like Rob's dad, there's something for you still, man. I bet Rob's dad loves the Love Street Kolsch, which is their take on a Kolsch, the blonde ale. Fantastic beer, and their best seller, by the way. And then Crawford Bock, as you know, is my favorite. But they've got something for everybody's taste, and they're all over the city, friends. So whether you're out at a bar, you're out at a restaurant, or you're sitting at a poker table, go ahead and ask the bartender to make it a Carbach.
South Texas, get ready for the ultimate sports talk experience. The one and only Rich Eisen is on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. With over 20 years of NFL experience, Rich Eisen brings breaking stories, expert analysis, and exclusive interviews with sports legends to your airwaves with unmatched wit, insight, and passion. Catch all the action every weekday, noon to 2 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show, only on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
GimmeTheVin.com, our expert buying team knows exotics, luxury cars, classics, diesels, lifted stuff, hot rods, inside and out. We buy them at GiveMeTheVin.com. It's a one-stop shop to get into a pool of absolute experts. Join my YouTube channel, John Clay Wolf. GimmeTheVin.com. They don't call me America's best car buyer for nothing.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
On Super Sunday, you could be the crunch time hero. PorkRinds.com is bringing you a game-changing twist to your big day because it's also Pork Rind Appreciation Day. The crispy, crunchy, crave-worthy snack you love deserves its moment. PorkRinds.com is celebrating by giving you a chance to win tickets to the 2026 big game in Santa Clara. Enter at PorkRinds.com and become your own crunch time hero. This Super Sunday, make sure your snack game is on point. Celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day. Get in on the action at PorkRinds.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
It is playoff time. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. You know Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes during the playoffs. Be like me and 5 million other happy players winning money watching games with their Pick'em game, where you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. You can cook up fire entries for a shot to win real cash prizes all playoff long. You can even take football and basketball and mix them together. Underdog is the only Pick'em platform that puts the power to cash out in your hands. Now you can either keep riding with your entry or tap the Win Now button to cash out whenever you want. Underdog is the best place to play Pick'em. Download the app, sign up with my promo code STAR, and deposit now and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code STAR. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code STAR. Sign up today.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
You went to Sacramento?
Sacramento, yeah. Got a new addition to the family.
Did the family at all leave you in charge of the baby for any length of time?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
What?
They didn't leave the house.
Oh, well, that doesn't count.
Well, I was in the room alone, though.
Well, what does that mean?
If something happened, I'd have to scream for somebody.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is Jason Minix. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Ooh, oh, oh. Feel like I've been locked up tight. To release me. Oh. And you look, it's my way. That don't mean it's gonna be today. Baby, baby, baby. Oh, oh, oh.
Good stuff.
Oh, oh, oh. But my heart is saying no.
Oh, God.
If you wanna be with me, baby, there's a price to pay. I'm a genie in a bottle. You gotta rub me the right way. Come on, Rob.
Rob knows the
words.
words.
Your wish come true.
Oh, I know the words.
Yeah.
Gotta make a big impression.
How old was she when she sang this?
Gotta like what you do.
I mean, how long ago was this?
This was like 1999.
But we knew even then she was crazy, right?
I mean, I don't know about that. I've heard there's some stories about her that like the way she treats her hired help there's some nightmare stories. Like I would not want to be Christina Aguilera's personal assistant. But
she, I guess not crazy, not the best word. She was the super diva. She wanted to be
Yes.
that. She wanted to be that.
Yeah. She is, how old is she now? She's my age. So she's 44 years old. So
she's still a genie in a bottle?
And in 98, she would have 99. I guess she would have been like 19, 20 years old. So she's a little older than Britney was when Britney banged out.
Now that's crazy.
Oh, yeah. She went a different kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's just flat out chemically imbalanced.
There's a different kind of crazy. You never know. You're supposed to sing it like Cher. I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
Genie in a bottle.
We don't need to hear a goat sing.
You got to rub me the right way. The right way. All right, let's do what we always do to wrap up the show. Take a look at the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
Daily Lines brought to you by SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house located at 281 and Bitters. Go check it out. The Knicks are at the Sixers. Knicks 6-point favorites tonight at Philly. Knicks are on a heater, Bubba.
They're literally as hot as fish grease.
Yeah, they got it going on.
Keep going, man. Ride that wave.
Big road favorite, though. And
Ride it.
You never know what Philly's going to be because you never know what team they're going to put on the floor. There's a Burger Boy commercial playing right here. I had Burger Boy for the first time a couple days ago.
Oh, that's San Antonio's own. That's
that was
a
a San Antonio. That's a good burger,
How'd
man.
you like the fries? They do the crinkles
fries. Yeah, it was solid. They were hot. I thought it was a good burger.
Yeah, I'm glad. There's not enough of them around. They're starting to pop up everywhere. I got one almost to my house.
There's I don't think there wasn't an option to have onions on my burger, which was disappointing. But
I always get extra onions.
yeah, it was a good burger though. And then I had a Nutter Butter shake.
I was about to say the shakes.
A very good shake. Yeah,
I got to take you to the OG one down here on St. Mary.
You know what I want to find, and maybe the people can help me. A good fried chicken spot in town. Like, what's the best fried chicken? I don't want chicken fried steak. I'm talking
know
about
exactly what you're talking
chicken
about.
on the bone, fried chicken.
That's a couple, 3.
Okay. So if you got any Brigade Bar, you got some recommendations, hit me up. Celtics, 14.5 on the road in Toronto.
Ride that wave, baby. That's 2 favorites on the road I like.
How about the Bucks, home favorites, 5.5 hosting the Magic?
They're feeling good, too. Bucks are playing the best basketball they played all year.
Hawks, 2-point dogs in Chicago.
Trey went off for 43 last night. That's a weird one. And Chicago got
a lot
beat
of
by
these
the
back-to-backs. That's the thing.
Yeah, and Chicago lost last night at home against the Pelicans. Zion
played?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then you know what I want to do then? I want to back the Mavericks -2.5 at New Orleans tonight because if Zion played last night, he ain't playing tonight.
Yeah, that's if you're going to do it, pay close attention.
And the Pelicans without Zion, they're like the worst team in the league.
4 wins up to the point where he came back. They're 4-3 since his return, and they only had 4 wins the entire without him.
Yeah, just fade on back-to-backs, you know Zion's not playing, just fade the hell out of him. Rockets +1 at the Nuggies. Hornets laying 5 in Utah.
Now, that's going to be an interesting game to watch.
I don't want to lay 5 points on the Hornets anyway. That's crazy.
But Utah might be the perfect culprit for this.
Timberwolves -6 hosting the Warriors.
I like that. You know, Curry came out yesterday like, hey, guys, no hurry for trades. I'm good. I'm good, which tells me they need to make a deal.
Heat catching 5.5 in L.A. against the Lakers.
Pat Riley is going through his first existential crisis.
It's getting bad there, isn't it?
That of all the Mr. Heat, Jimmy Butler is now impossible to work with. They suspended him for 7 games. That suspension's about to end. He can't come back and play.
Dude, I'm telling you, the Heat brought this on themselves because the Heat, for the longest time, have let Jimmy Butler do what he wants to do. Jimmy Butler hasn't had to fly with the team. He hasn't had to stay in the team hotel. Like, they've given him carte blanche to do what he wants. And now he's being a little malcontent, and he's still demanding to do all these things that they've been kind of giving him grace on. And now they're like, dude, you're not going to get it both ways.
And to top things off, Tyler Hero and Bam are both like, I'm kind of good without him. This is kind of nice. The circus that has been Butler, I don't miss. So what's going to happen here is Butler's going to be had for pennies on the dollar. They're going to just have to dump it.
Yep. But also, do you want him? Because he seems to be a bit of a pain in the ass.
Somebody, I mean, if I'm Philly.
And he's getting older.
I'm looking, if I'm a team that's like, it's now or never, man.
Oh, God. Can you imagine Philly with James Harden and
you mean the Clippers?
Oh, yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Imagine, because I heard the Clippers were a rumored team. Harden, Kawhi, and Jimmy Butler. Like, how do you manage it?
It's like the Expendables.
How do you manage it?
They're going for one last mission, and only one of them's coming back alive.
Clippers -14 tonight, hosting the Brooklyn Nets, and your Spurs. You may be in the game building, Rob.
I think I'm going to go hit that one tonight.
-2.5, the Grizzlies at the Spurs.
No, Jeremy Sohan, I think we'll feel that again. If Devin plays like he has been, they're going to win. That's my barometer.
Totals 239. That feels high against a Grizzlies team that's defense first, and a Spurs team that can't shoot and continues to try. That's the Daily Lines, brought to you by SA Card House, 281 in Bitters. We'll be back tomorrow, same bat time. Blitz coming up at 2.
On your ride to work, it's the